live like Fox 5. Whoa. Oh.
Well, post it in the chat for me. I don't know why I can't fucking bring it up on none of my. It ain't popping up on my YouTube feed. Usually that shit be at the top of my shit right now.
Oh, excuse me.
It's in the chat.
Post no tea on man.
Ravens live. Yo, I swear that should be funny.
Ravens live. You put it in the broadcast chat or the main one? Yeah, I think it's just my phone's tripping.
Group me probably tripping. They be doing that, bro.
Cause it ain't even. I can't even see it in the chat yet. There we go. All right, here we go. There we go. Ravens live.
Ravens live.
Ravens live where?
Ravens live. Now let me do this real fast. Thanksgiving, baby. Tune in time. All right, let's get after it. See how many motherfuckers pop on, man. Where y'all at? A1 showing on everything smoking. He don't miss shows, nothing. He be on everything smoking. Let's see if he make those games all year long. Shake it up over there in the NFC West. All right, after one game, some guys got 2 game stats on here. Passing leaders, completion percentage 53 for Carter Caps. So that's a big story in itself too, though, Snake. Carter Caps. You know, the Cowboy fan base, and you can tell around the building that they wasn't comfortable with Carter Caps last year. As a rookie, they spent the first round pick on him and felt like they really missed out on a quarterback. Now, at the coaching staff, you can't talk like the guy wasn't what you wanted. But you know the owner in Dallas, he don't give a flying you know what. And he speaks his mind. So he put it in better terms than he has to show us he's worth a first round. Versus, we don't think he's a first round pick. We mad we wasted that pick. That GM got fired. And he'll never make another pick for a Cowboy again. But we're there. Now you get into the next draft, and that team had a top 10 pick, and they passed on a few quarterbacks in that draft that they didn't even attack the quarterback position at all. There's no more Dak Prescott on that roster, and the team is handed the keys of the car is handed over to Carter Capps. What type of statement is being made by this Cowboys team? Like, do you see an
Caps
ideal
we
world where
trust.
this thing, yeah, right? Does this thing work out? Does it work out for themselves? Can they win their division again with this type of quarterback? Because he's a project.
Let's just say it's not something we to a couple. This team only has a veteran quarterback situation. We're not accustomed to seeing them develop this. So it's going to be interesting. Very
The
interesting.
the next guy on this list has been developed. I mean, they drafted him in the later rounds. They did it the right way. They drafted him in the later rounds, and throughout his UCLA career, he's been talked about could be a possible first round quarterback. He's had a really good last year for UCLA and Chip Kelly. He has 72 completion percentage right now, 618, 10 touchdowns in 2 games right now. Um, we was seeing it, him coming to his own. We saw it, especially last year play. But like, I think DTR has proven himself and is now entering that lane where he wants to be talked about as one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. Period.
Well, to do that, that means we getting in past the conversation talking about in regular season and becomes what are you doing in the playoffs
Right.
to take that next big step for DTR.
Right. 'Cause, it's the one thing to be 72% and in 2 games, throw 10 touchdowns. Now, who did he play is also going to be in the consideration. But you're right. It don't matter what he does. It comes down to what you do in the postseason. Can you get your team consistently to the postseason? And not for nothing, as being consistent getting to the postseason, can you win in the playoffs? Is going to
That's
be the
gonna be the
TTR
challenge.
conversation. That's the
That's
challenge.
the
You're
challenge
100%
over
right.
there, especially with the aging Nick Chubb and we seeing the transformation. The keys kind of be handed to this guy with Miles Garrett moving on. That's definitely the challenge over here. But
I'm starting to get the Russell Wilson feel, where that defense, the defense is starting to disappear on them and all that. Some key pieces and all that gone, and they want him to be the face of the franchise and all that. And then next thing you know, traded to Denver.
train wreck,
Train
trade.
fucking wreck. I don't think this team is going to go through that at all. Because they are heavily favoring that this team is DTR's team because of what they did in the first round this year. They went and got him a weapon. Was it a weapon?
Hmm.
Was it a weapon? All right, Lamar Jackson, 68 completion percentage, 613, 4 touchdowns. Right now, they're your passing leaders right now, and most of these teams
Yeah.
that's up here, they played 2 games already.
Commanders.
Oh, okay.
They played their week 2 game on the night before Thanksgiving. While the rest of
Smart
these,
man.
yeah, yes, sir. All right, so how do you feel about free agent D tackle Jonathan Allen, let go by the Commanders, has signed a 3-year deal with the Browns that is worth 60.3 mil.
305 Saints.
Like, is he still on ability or something?
Help! Help!
Face with tears of joy, 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 face
Oh
with
my
tears of
God!
joy.
Listen, is he still on ability, bro? I'm trying to figure this one out right now, man. What's going on?
Oh my god.
Man, you laughing a little too hard. You gotta pay that. You gotta play that man twice, bruh.
I ain't know that he paid him like that. Hey.
60.3 mil. Ain't he like 33?
Oh my God. Shout out to Jonathan.
This nigga got a fucking major contract late in his career, bro. Oh my god. Hey man,
Mm.
work for the gander, work for the goose. I don't know who. All right, expectations are always high for the top pick and tight end. K, what's his new name? Changed his name. I thought he was gonna name him LeBron. He was calling him LeBron. He gonna name him Winslow. All capital letters. K, capital letters everywhere. Change that boy name to LeBron. The James Show. But he got the 6'9" tight end, man. Superstar at that too. I wasn't expecting that tight end to
I
go.
need
I
to
knew he
save
would
my
go
son
in
to break
the.
released
I
in
knew he
face
would
with
go in the
tears
first
of
round,
joy.
and I knew he would probably go within that top 10. But I didn't
Lions.
expect to see that at one. You kind of did, Snake. You was interested in this tight end, and you moved up to the seventh pick there in hopes that he'll fall to you. And you said it before you slid out. You said, "I don't think he's gonna make it to 7." And I'm like, "Man, you crazy as hell. He gonna make it to 7." Well, you were right. He ain't make it to 7. And it's not a bad pick for the Chargers either. I mean, I wouldn't have made that pick. I would have thought as you know what? Even when he made that pick, I knew he had another first round pick. The Chargers had two firsts this draft, but they never circled back around and got the quarterback though.
Yeah,
So how do you feel about that?
that's the question I have with this team. What's the quarterback situation over here?
I mean, sometimes you just gotta. I mean, without getting the inside information from a coach and nothing, maybe he liked his quarterback. Like I wanted to do a draft show, and I was trying to round up the top 10 guys and just get an idea like what they looking at, like top three positions they needed and shit. And I got the 3 out of the top 10, and I couldn't get nobody else. And I spoke to Bo, but like he was throwing me around in circles. He wasn't really trying. You could tell. You could tell when somebody ain't beat. They don't really want to answer your questions or tell you anything, so they dancing around it. And then you got to decipher all that shit and try to figure it out. I said, you know what? Maybe it ain't worth it. This is going to be a good draft. Guys is going to be glued. Guys is going to be locked into what they trying to do. But I thought guys was going to be locked in, and we did have a locked in draft, man. We had a lot of movement. That happened before the draft. It was a lot of people trying to move around and get picks and do things like that. We had some after the draft trades made. We had a lot of things going on. It was a very active draft. And I thought GMs did a really good job across the board in this draft. Um, but that was a surprise pick. We'll talk about it a little bit more when we get to it, though. But again, Atlanta outdoors competitor signs wide receiver DJ
Mikey
Moore.
be alright. He was missing a game changer.
Atlanta honed their free agency focus on wide receiver DJ Moore, who the Falcons now inked to a 1-year, $16 million contract.
Damn. Way to go, DJ. Shout out to DJ Moore. Mm. Shit. I need to come on retirement.
Guys getting paid. I mean, you saw Terry Scary Terry get a contract. I mean, guys like listen, bro. And come on, Snake. The veterans still play good. Just because they lose abilities don't mean they not dogs. Like again, when you pay attention to the overall of the league, and I'm not talking about guys that have no idea how to build a fucking football team, and they just in situations and they trying. So I'll just leave it at that. It's Thanksgiving. We're not gonna be on no bullshit today at all. Hopefully, but uh, you can play with Aaron Donald and make the Pro Bowl with him on normal. You can
Not gonna
play
be on
with
no
guys like
bullshit,
you
but
know what I
you gonna
mean.
bring up Jonathan Allen contract. Fuck out of here.
You can bring on. I mean, it was smack dead in my face. D tackle Jonathan Allen adds talent to the Browns.
I got you. I know.
But they ain't had to be ignorant like that and throw his business out there and show the money and everything. Like
Hey, look.
60.3. That nigga got
Hey,
paid like he
Pop
was
Smoke.
20, like he coming off his first rookie
Hey,
contract and he
Pop
need to
Smoke
get
his ass.
paid.
Hold down, Pop
Sheesh.
Smoke his ass for real. Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Lord, Lord, Lord. But all right, man. So Max, you there?
You still out, out, out of it, bro? Jonathan Allen last night, y'all was hanging out. You was hanging out with the $100 million man.
See, I know you ain't gonna leave that alone. This shit about to be funny as fuck today. Oh my god. Nigga
What the
got it
fuck?
ran up on. I don't know how niggas don't be knowing they getting it ran up on. He said, "Damn." So like after million seasons in my league and a million free agency rounds,
Late acid fans.
niggas still is still falling for that shit. Like, ain't no point you should be thinking this. Damn, oh man, I'm in a war with this nigga. He trying to get him. I got money this year. Stop playing with me. And then you give him 60.3, and the nigga just take his name off the bid. Like, you got it. There's no way. There's no way we still falling for that shit, bro. Oh my god. Mm-mm. Oh, man,
Chargers better not go 1-16.
What's the
motherfucker.
substitute? Hey look, hey look, hey look. Oh no, oh no, no.
He was dotting me up.
They done played. They done played 2 games down there.
Who? Shit, you hear Falk talking about the Chargers better not go 1-16 this year. He was dotting me up.
Stop
Maybe
doing
he
the Rams
comfortable with his
fan joy
quarterback.
face with tears of joy face with tears of joy face with tears of joy.
I don't know who the quarterback is over there, but the last time I checked, I don't even think he was at 80. That's why I mean, it was, listen, he had the capital to pretty much do what he want. And it's hard when you're looking through the draft, bro. Like when you're looking through the draft, especially my draft, it's so hard
Pause.
because it's always something that's going to stick in your stand out and stick right in your face and make you like and make you question what you really want to do. It's hard to stick to the script, right? And I guess I'm giving out something for those that act like they don't know what's going on, or maybe I'm giving brand new news out right now. Whatever you see in the draft that you get or I get, and I jump up in the top five to get, or somebody's in the top five to get, that player's in the draft 4 more times, every position. Simple as that. Shit, me, DW.
Chargers the Rams minor league affiliate rolling on the floor laughing rolling on the floor laughing rolling on the floor laughing.
Let me ask you this though: when you get he's a super freak though, Max 6'9" tight end, bro. It's not like he got a normal at tight end. He got a superstar, 89 speed, big body. I get it, bro. That tight end. Listen, if he didn't get that tight end at 1, do he get it at 27 or whenever? Because he had Jimbo's pick.
You could trade back and still stay in the top 10 and pick about 4 or 5 players.
Hey man, that's how I was moving. Shit, I even offered him to come go to 3-1. I thought he wanted the quarterback bad. And I knew my thing was this. We're gonna talk about it, but I'm not mad at that pick. Are you mad at that pick, Snake? And you look, you wanted that tight end. That tight end go to 7. He go to you at 7 if nobody else got him. Are you
Man, you
mad
gotta
that
talk
the
about
Chargers
man.
picked this tight end?
Man, nah,
He's a
I
unicorn.
expected him. I expected him to take him.
You did. I didn't. I didn't
Yeah,
expect him to take it at
I
all.
told you that. I said that. I need to get the. I mean, I ain't got no quarterback.
I wanted him at 12. You never let a gifted athlete slide down the board.
My thing is this. My thing is this. You gotta let him get his GM more. Here's the thing. Let's talk about the Chargers for a little bit. All right. Here's the thing. You trade Justin Herbert. You cut your best 2023 real rookie. You fire coaches. You look at your roster as an overall, and not for nothing, you have one of the worst rosters in the league, right? But you can manage that roster and find ways to fix it, right? So over the last 3 drafts, you've been in the top 10, whether it's been 1 or 10, you've been in the top 10. And every round, you're not really trading picks, and you gain more picks when you traded your quarterback. So you've been in a situation to really flip and fix this roster. But people move at their pace and do things at their speed of what they do. He's not a guy. Who do he trade with? He doesn't really trade with people at all. Like outside of 305, he's not going to trade with nobody else really that I've seen. So, but hear me out. I'm not hear me out. Hear me out because you got to understand the person that's behind the machine. Simple as that, right? I'm just going off of one thing. Falk just said he better not go 1-16 this year. He was dotting me up. So what? Listen to me though. Maybe he like his quarterback just because the quarterback overall ain't what we want to see, or he ain't all ability out and all that. Maybe he's comfortable with that quarterback. And listen. Tell me I'm wrong. Look, you had Brock Purdy as one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he is now the chief, and you got Mahomes now. So maybe you just didn't like Brock Purdy and wanted Mahomes, right? Maybe he just liked his quarterback right now and he saw value in. And look, he just said it. You can't let that type of talent slide up the board like that. My thing is this: you did have 2 first-round picks. I just think this team needs is more than a tight end.
Who won
I think I
49ers and
think they
Hawks?
need I think they need it way more. I think you gotta think about it. The second all right, I got the quarterback, I got the 95 speed quarterback, right? I got the number one quarterback, or the number two quarterback in the draft. The number one went to the Patriots. I got the number two quarterback in the draft. Hitter drafted the exact same quarterback that I drafted at 3 and got him in the third round and got the other one in the third round. And the only difference was one was an X factor, the other one was a star. 95 speed, 95 excel, 95 throw power, elite, everything else. Niggas got quarterbacks late as shit. At some point, if you don't come back and get a quarterback, and I'm talking about this is Bo, he didn't come get a quarterback at all. So maybe he just didn't see he likes this quarterback. Maybe that's what he want. He liked the guy he got. Just because we looking at the quarterback and looking at that roster and looking at the quarterback and
Dan
saying,
Brown saved some points for when you
he
join
need a
with us with
quarterback
tears of joy face
didn't
with
mean he
tears
see
of
it that
joy
way.
face
That's
with
just my
tears of
opinion
joy.
because I don't know how you pass up on really good quarterbacks and you picking at one in every round and you passed up on quarterbacks the entire draft and picked everything else around it, right? So that means he had to like his quarterback.
Can't hear Max.
They saying they can't hear you, bro.
Hey Lowe's, we gotta do some sessions. This is ridiculous.
Shit, I can tell you right now. I'm about to unpause my shit. You can't hear you at all. All right, while he getting his headsets on, Snake though, like, let's go to the Chargers roster for a second.
No way you let check down Charlie throw for 10 tutties.
Niggas is on one early today. Oh my god. Niggas is on one right now, man. But we, we're gonna be. I'm being. The draft was the shit, and guys did some good things in that draft, right? So you got Cole
Ravens
Brandt
and
is his
Bengals, we all
quarterback.
getting soft.
All right. Now, after being on this roster this is going to be his third season as a Charger, and Max is not wrong with saying, you got to be able to win ball games. So like
Mic
with this
test.
quarterback, what's
You can
this
hear me on the
quarterback's
stream?
record? Yeah, we can hear you. What's this quarterback record as a starter?
I wish they would let me see that shit. I truly don't even know. I mean, like you said though, every year they've been top five, so their record don't matter to me. It's been bad enough to be in the top five. You trade Justin Herbert, you get a overload of picks. You never think about this from a real GM standpoint. You trade Justin Herbert, a franchise quarterback. You get loads picks. You don't even really consider it a tank.
285.
You don't really consider it a tank or a blow up because you don't trade Keenan Allen, you don't trade Mike Williams, you don't trade Bosa until late. You don't trade
The running back.
Derwin. You don't trade the running back. You don't trade Derwin. You don't trade Quentin Johnson. You don't trade Asante Samuel. Like
What
every
is the
name that I
Camden
just
Local
named is
Shark
all
said? We're
tradable
not going
pieces
to
for you
say
to
anything
actually
again.
go and then
Rolling on the
blow
floor,
things up. So you do a
laughing on the
halfway
floor,
blow up.
laughing,
You don't
rolling on
touch a
the floor,
quarterback in 3
laughing.
seasons. Look at this from a real GM standpoint. If you ain't after you're trading your franchise quarterback and you don't touch a quarterback for 3 seasons and you don't make the playoffs, every GM in America would be fired. Every single one.
So maybe we need. You know what? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give him an opportunity because I know he cares and I know he enjoys our league, and I know our conversation, and we're coming at it from our opinions, right? And ain't nothing wrong with that. We talking football now, and he's a football guy. You know how I know he's a football guy? I've had conversations with him, and even if it's just Madden, he knows football. Now, with that being said, um. Where's the help at? Like, where's the motherfucking do this, do that? Like, nah, you should make this move, this and that, do that, do this and that. Or where's the plan at? Where is he sitting down and seeing the scheme and the plan and the understanding on what he got to do to get this team in this situation? Because let's just keep it 100, bro. Like, he's not in a division that he can't win ball games in. Like, we looking at guys like you lost the running back. Isaiah Spiller is your new guy. Like I just don't see it right now. Like I don't see what he's doing. I'm trying to figure out what he's doing, and you could tell after he made that. Listen, first of all, listen, so what? He got the tight end first. He got a fucking dog. He got one of the top players in the draft. He won with the tight end at 6'9" and superstar. You're winning there. Now I get it. You know what I mean? Maybe you should have, if it was any of us, we probably go another position, all that. But that tight end wasn't a bad pick at all. Like I wasn't expecting him to go at 1, but this ain't a bad pick. 86 was around the top
I just
first
feel
round
like
picks.
at 1, that's your most I mean, your first round is your most prioritized position. So I get what you're saying. Like, if he didn't feel like quarterback was prioritized, the next thing is the weapon. But
But look, bro, he went tight end.
I
It's the
think
only
you
reason
could.
why I was confused. You went tight end this year. What he did was he got a unicorn. I get it. You see that? You see something like that standing out is in your face. You want it, go get it. And you do what you got to do to get who you want to play with. I mean, ain't that why you'll see me jump in the top 5? or do things that I do. I go get the player I want to play with, right? So I get it. But the problem is, in 2025 draft class, he drafted Chad Belly, he drafted Deion Dockett, and he drafted Byron Adams. That's 3 tight ends he drafted the last draft. All 3 of these positions, if I go check on them, let's see where they got drafted at. Second round, pick 5. So that means last year he had the 5th pick in every round. Now just go back. Now you got Winslow right now. That's all cool and dandy. I feel you on that. I ain't nothing wrong with that. You got a unicorn.
Herbert was a cat
But
problem.
Belly,
Didn't
Dockett,
have
and
any
Adams
money.
is all different positions, right? Right or wrong? Like at 5, you getting stud. You can get studs at any position at 5. Second round, this guy was a second round pick 5 pick. This could have been a superstar somewhere if you would have went after an offensive lineman or a D tackle or a DN. You know what I mean? Where you know that the abilities are really at those positions. I'm just saying that's 3 tight ends you drafted last year, and all of them whatever round you got them in, they was the 5th pick in that round. If you had the 5th pick in every round, Max, right? You get what I'm saying?
That's why I said, like, I'm not mad at the player going top 5, top 10, top 5, top 3, either one of them. I'm more mad that the GM-ness wasn't fully exercised because, like I said, picking somebody at 1 that really debatably and arguably could have been there at 3 and 5. If you did your due diligence, you would go and then see that like you didn't maximize opportunity. And I think if you're in a rebuild in any form, you need to maximize opportunity. Like you have to look at everything as if you're a buyer or if you're a seller. And if you're ready to start buying and you're like
He
done
not
selling as far
maximizing
as
his
like getting rid of
selection.
players or whatever like that, you got to get the most for your team. And getting the most for your team when you draft one player at 1 when you probably could have drafted that same player at 3 or 5 and then gained a player, another pick, like whatever the case be. You probably could have gained some other pieces that put you in a buy situation. You're honestly accepting and saying out loud, by moving back, we have more to gain on our team than just this one player at the 1st pick. Like I just feel like
I'm in total agreement with you. What I'm trying to figure out is what's the plan for this roster? What's the plan for this team, right? What are we doing with this team, right? Let's just go here. Let's start with quarterback. He's watching the show, he's responding to us and everything. How do you feel about your quarterback, Cole Brandt? Bo, how do you feel about your quarterback? In fact, I would love to get you on the show. So my question is, after trading Justin Herbert, what was the plan? Because you still was benefiting from that Justin Herbert trade this draft. Because this draft he had 2 firsts, right? So what was the plan? Because like when you trade a franchise quarterback, and I get it. Remember, a lot of his moves he had to make early because he had no money. The money
the
situation
Chargers
was
have no
fucked
money.
up.
That's why I
Yeah.
said, but that's why I was confused by like we didn't really fully blow it up. You said you have no money. You stopped somebody that was going to cost you a lot of money. You still kept people that do cost a lot of money. Season after season, I just feel like we didn't fully get full opportunity and advantage of the situation you were in. Like, yes, you were in an unfortunate situation. The Chargers have bad money. I
Only
also have the
Paul
Chargers in
Brown.
another league, and if I'm gonna blow that shit up and I'm not gonna sign Herbert, or like you're not gonna keep Herbert's contract because he's already signed, you gotta like you could have turned that into a good thing for you. You know how it is when you have a signed quarterback. Everything else can kind of like you can really start focusing elsewhere because your quarterback is continuously signed. There's a plus and minus to it, but when you have a top quarterback like Herbert and you go and then sell that route, it puts like I feel like the whole team should have been in sell for one, and then you probably would see more of when you look throughout the roster, the pieces aren't like bad. He's done a pretty good job of drafting certain positions that need to just be on paper drafted. But like, did we optimize everything? And that's where like I asked the direction of the team because we're moving complacent in the sense of like picks and taking full advantage like they're a playoff team or like they're a team that's right outside the playoffs. This is legitimately like record wise this is where like the Browns were when they had that slump, and like, bro, I think you just got to do more in a league that's a little bit like this league is heavy as far as like the way that people move in GM mode. I think we just missed out on opportunities here. Like, I looked through the roster real quick when I got on. I don't think there's really
Knock it off.
his positions aren't bad. Like I say, he's drafted some positions just for numbers there, but I don't know if we weren't drafting the guys, and now we saw an opportunity to draft the guy, and you felt like, oh, there's no way I can miss out on generational talent. But I question, like you said, where's the full story and where's the team going in the next couple of years, because time is of the essence as far as in the Game of Thrones manner.
Yeah, but I think he's still in a good situation to like you got pieces over here that you can continue to build around, like Emmanuel Teller. That's why I'm sitting on his last year's first round pick. This is the dog. Like this guy is a dog and he's not building bad at all. Like if you look at him, he's an 86 superstar. He's not that bad building at all. Like so you got a good DN over here, right? You got pieces like Victory Booth comes from the practice squad gifts I gave everybody. You look at the D tackles. I mean, this guy is not bad. 95 strength, 6'2". Like, so he got pieces, right? Like, my thing is when you're picking that high, like, for example, I'll give you an example. Foe been tanking for 3 fucking seasons, right or wrong?
Right.
And the tanking is to be in a situation to pick top talent, right? To have a high pick so you can pick the top talent at each round.
Each round, yeah.
Right. And he made a comment to me last night, see if Hitter would trade me that quarterback. That's all I need. My team legit now. Well, you tank for 3 fucking seasons. You had a top 10 pick every fucking draft. Motherfucking every round. So of course, you know what I'm saying? Of course your team gonna be look, this is why I moved down into the top 10 every fucking year. To get a top 10 talent. Like, this is what you gonna do. Like, I get it. But if you sitting in the top 10 and you're not trading those picks away, you gotta win here. And he's doing it. Like, he ain't doing that bad. Like, first of all, you gotta accept this. I get it. If he likes his quarterback, you can't be mad at him not going quarterback. It's just that simple. That's not what he wanted. He don't feel as though he needed a quarterback. But that tight end is a win, bro. And then not only that, he did come out and have a big game for his first game. Like the tight end's a win, and I get it. I don't think you should have drafted 3 tight ends last year and then come back and get 1 again this year. Like, I don't know where the sense in that was, right? That's all I'm saying. But, like, he has opportunity to get this thing turned around, right? So, but the window, what's the window? Because I don't know what happens with Brant, right? Assume you're going to have to give him a contract. Is he worth that contract or not? Then you're going to do it, you want to start all over, because if you get a new quarterback now, unless you're building your team for that quarterback when you're ready to go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different ways to build it. I hear what you're saying, Max, and I'm completely in agreement with you. I'm just trying to see it from his perspective. Just looking at the roster and seeing it from his perspective, because he got guys that's up for awards every year. Like the safety's been playing really well for him. Right. I just think the key positions need to be addressed, like running back, receivers, things like that need to be addressed. Like, and if he can do that, and you know what I mean, especially when you're picking in the top 10, you have capital. You can get whatever the fuck you want from guys when you have those type of picks. And if you're not going to trade those picks, you better be drafting the right shit.
I think that's where more so I was coming to is just I'm not, like I said, take the quarterback out of the equation. Yeah, maybe he likes his quarterback. I think we still didn't optimize value, and we jumped gun on in a certain way to me. Like, it's about winning. Like you said, it's about winning drafts, winning the position. I mean, I feel like going one player at 1, and it's a tight end, it's still labeled a win because of who the tight end is.
And what you're saying is, this is the guy. This is my franchise guy right now, and I'm gonna build around this tight end offensively. That's what you're saying, right? And that's the problem. Most of us wouldn't do that. Most of us wouldn't pick a tight end to build around. Most of us are gonna pick a quarterback to build around, right? Most of us are gonna probably pick a running back to build around, or a lineman to start off to build around. But he went tight end, and he got a unicorn. And it's very hard to sit here and say that if he didn't pick that tight end at 1, he comes back up at 27. Is that tight end still on the board?
I think that's where you got a GM and see with 1 through 5 and figure out if you could have got value.
I get it, but you're dealing with a guy that don't trade with people, like, right? Like who you know of him trading with?
And
He
this
don't
year, nobody, bro.
he don't trade with no too many people, right? Like he don't really trade like. And then you also got to separate die hard, trying to win, building your team, buy packages, all that shit, guys that are invested that way, or a guy that just enjoy the fucking league, bro. And like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't look at us having this conversation as niggas trying to play him out, anything like that. We're just talking football and we're talking teams. And he had the number one pick. So, and he picked a unicorn. So in that process, we have to talk about it, right? Now we're looking at the roster as a whole and we saying it, but like, he might not be that much invested as we are, as we think. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might just enjoy the social part of it, just playing in the league, get to play a game every night and get to enjoy the shows and, you know what I mean, play the game. Like, he ain't investing in trying to, oh, I'm gonna go out here and win the Super Bowl. Let me put this master team together. And I'm gonna do everything I gotta do to put this team together, right? He probably just enjoying himself and giving him something to do when he ain't something to do, in a sense, right? What I do know is he does have a football mind. We've talked football plenty of times, and it was pertaining to Madden. So he understands things. He knows what he want to do, but at the same time, you can't make a guy see the things you want him to see if that's not where his head at with this shit, right? So again, he looked at that tight end as a unicorn, which he should have. He picked that tight end. But to me, he can win in his division. He has a division that everybody's still trying to find themselves in that division. But he has to turn his roster around somewhat. Whether he getting players that's already built and trading those top picks, and just like I think Bo could literally change his whole football team around just by not even drafting for the next 2 years. Trade those picks and go get people players that's already built, guys that's close to a 90 or 90 or above. Go get those picks, go get those players, and you can fill your positions through other people work. Guys that like a Shoguns, and Snake even do it in a sense where they'll go get guys already built. Shoguns don't really have time to, or don't care to be building rookies. He just wait for the Ravens to be on the block, right? Or he wait for your players to be on the block, or Falk players to be on the block, or Snake players to be on the block, or anybody that know how to build and got their teams built and players look attractive to him. He'll give those picks up to get them. He ain't got to spend time trying to develop and build somebody. I think Bo do that. He in a situation. He can do that with a K Winslow now that he's your number one pick right now. Like, I wouldn't draft another motherfucking player for the next fucking 2 drafts, bro. I wouldn't draft another player. I'll trade my picks and go and build my team through other players that are already built that guys want first rounds and second rounds and third round picks for. And then he right back in the mix, bro. Like, that's the fast way to do something that you don't have time to really sit and do, which is build your team, sit in front of the game all day long, and look at your team like you're a real GMer and all that shit and all that blah, 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 where he just getting on playing this fucking game and trying to enjoy that part of it with no nonsense to it, right? Like, that's the MO I get from him, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But you got people around you that should be guiding you to that shit too. Like, they should be helping you get to those things too. Because what we do, people trade with who they comfortable with. People trade with who they fuck with. Simple as that, right? There's certain people in the league that'll trade with me fast that wouldn't trade with you, or won't trade with Snake, or won't trade with Falk, but they trade with me real fast, right? And it's people that'll trade with you that won't trade with me. But I know I can go to somebody that's in my clique faster for a trade than anybody outside of it. Ain't that how I go though? Is your relationships, right? So like, you got niggas around you that can help you out in those situations, that can put you in those situations. And I'm quite sure they do it. But again, you gotta find out what's his drive, what's his will to want to do things, right? Like, it might not mean as much to him as it does to us, right? Like, he just might enjoy the league and playing. But I still think you want to win some ball games, right? Like, everybody's a competitor. Nobody gets on here and not want to win games at all and just keep playing and not want to win, right? You want to win. So if you want to win, start making some moves in this bitch, open it up a little bit, go get some players that's built already, sell those draft picks, get them the fuck up out of here, and go get you some dogs and turn his roster around so you can compete with the Nanos and the Brandons and the Saints in your division, because I do think he can compete in that division. Like, you don't go out here and throw the ball away through the ball. I don't care if it's week 1. You playing Falk, who's invested, who cares about what his team look like, who cares about developing his team, who wants to win the Super Bowl. And the first thing Falk said when he got on here was, he better not go 1-16, and again, he was dotting me the fuck up. Period. I don't care if it's week 1, Mac. That just tells me is a guy that kind of know what he's doing a little bit. Just don't have the drive and the and the want that we have while we're playing the game. And it's not he's not the only one in the league that's like that. You got Mark that's like that. You got a couple guys that's like that, right? Um, but he's a little bit more active and on a better time frame. Because if it wasn't, I would do what I do for Mark for him, right? Which is make sure he can keep up by showing love, helping him manage his roster, help seeing if he want that help. Yo, I can show you what to do this, and that. And I do that with anybody in the league that needs it or wants it, or if you know what I mean. But I just don't think, you know what I mean. I don't think he see it like the way we see it, right? So with that being said, he went and got a unicorn. He saw that. Are you mad at the fact that 6'9", 248 went 1 in the draft? Period. He went 1. How do you? That's where we at now. He went 1.
I still don't think he should have went 1. Maybe permitted that it's a team like the team that it is. I could see it not being out of the question.
So let me ask you this:
think a tight end should have
if
went
you
1.
sitting at 1 and that's the player you want, and the next time you pick again is in the second round or late first, are you just gonna say fuck it, I'm not getting him?
If I'm not moving back, then no, I probably if I'm not gonna trade and do all the other things that I feel like I could do to still get him, then I probably would, because 1 in 27 is a big jump. As far as waiting for one player, that's kind of a physical specimen, that you really can't teach. I get it, like when you're saying you're not gonna move. If he's not gonna move, because that's not what he does in between 1 and 27, then that's a lot of picks, 26 picks to really wait on. So I probably wouldn't have waited, but I also just wouldn't have left myself with the only option of drafting that guy at 1 too. So.
Yeah, my thing is this. I know for a fact that tight end don't pass 7. Trust me. At the Bengals were sitting at 7, and that's exactly who they would have got. Think about it. At 23 or 24, the Browns got a tight end in the first round. Like, that tight end wouldn't have made it past. And I'm quite sure if guys are watching that was in that draft, they saw that tight end as well. I don't think he makes it past 15. So, but look, now that we're here, the Chargers took the tight end at number 1. Now let's talk about the player now. All right, Winslow at 1 right now, Max. What did he get with this type of player?
I would say, like you said, the first thing he said in the chat is just got LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
When you got a 6'9", I think he's 260 or close to 260, tight end. Looks like he's running in the 4.4s with 88 speed.
He's a 4.5 guy. He's 4.5, 89, 89. He's a 4.5 guy. He's about a 4.56, 4.57.
So you definitely went and got. 6'9" is probably 5 inches taller than the average. 5'6" inches, 7 inches almost taller than the average DB in the league right now. You got a DW.
That's a great fucking pick, yeah. Because you know how many times you in real drive, I come to the number 1 pick to get DW. Like every draft, every real draft, nobody else has ever played with DW in the league. Why? Because I come right to that fucking first or second pick and get that motherfucker right away. So I get it. I get seeing it, and then you gotta think about it. You know how important tight ends are in this game, bro.
I was about to say the position of the tight end is probably the biggest win. Yeah,
the position.
Because a linebacker is just tough, and then I'm asking if I wouldn't ask my player to probably guard him. Honestly, it's an anomaly position just because when done right, it's an anomaly position. 6'9", most linebackers are 6'5", 6'4", 6'3", but they can't guard him as far as just doing that and route running ability, being that tall and route running ability. And then you go to DBs. Asking a safety to guard somebody that's 5 inches taller than them or more is tough, and then he has a little wiggle to him, so it's definitely just a little bit tougher.
He's a beast, bro. He's a beast.
I might say, yeah, he can definitely be a game changer in the sense of a couple catches to him. A lot of people probably start to double team him and run towards him, which can open up the offense. But
exactly, and what does it do for a quarterback that's really not ready yet? Helps that quarterback, right?
That's what I said, but that's where the quarterback,
for him to see the field a little bit.
It's always going to come back to quarterback play. That's why I was going, it's always going to come back to quarterback play, though, because as much as, Like that's just like the Falcons in real life. Like I feel like this is legitimately like the Falcons when they picked Kyle Pitts at 4. They felt like, and most people felt like, can't miss out on Kyle Pitts. He's crazy. You'll find a quarterback to kind of like cover your tracks behind it. And they had Ritter. They was like maybe there. You know what I'm saying? Like they tried to cover tracks behind it, but when you get in and Kyle Pitts is getting double teamed or at least getting attention, like Kyle Pitts wasn't even getting double teamed. He's getting that attention though. It puts the pressure back on your quarterback. Okay, now what do you do when your best player is getting locked up or getting bracketed? How do you respond? And you know, you've seen in Atlanta that it was tough for that quarterback to respond and hit other weapons because he had a Drake London, you know what I'm saying? He had other weapons there. It just didn't work out that way. So it always comes back to quarterback play because now Kyle Pitts is 3 years in, and people are, you know, on the polls talking about like, yeah, where Kyle Pitts about to go? Because Atlanta could throw money at him, but Kyle Pitts hasn't touched over like 700-800 yards, and that's my fear here is that this 6'9" tight end can cause that attention, can cause the game-changing attributes. But, I mean, if the quarterback doesn't bounce back off of it and say, like, oh, they go here, I make you pay, and then, you know, win some games to kind of get the morale turned back around, the tight end's going to win out in, like, 2 or 3 years.
And my thing is this. I like the tight end pickup because now it highlights. You got to remember they had veterans at the receiver. They had to let those contracts die out so they can get rid of them. They are really in a rebuild mode, and they've been in a rebuild mode, and that's part of the reason why you saw Justin Herbert leave. That's part of the reason why you saw some of the things that's been happening over here happen. Now this is probably really the most comfortable draft he's had. Honestly, let's just talk about the draft. You go get a player you absolutely want. Anytime you scream the LeBron James of football right now, that tells you he really enjoyed this pick, right? And I was like, God damn, he just shook the draft up. And I was super happy sitting at 3 that he picked what he picked, because I thought for sure he would go quarterback, and it was only really one quarterback in that draft that I wanted. And that's just me being selfish now, that I wanted that would require me to trade Lamar. Now listen, I had Lamar on the block since week 1, right? And 90% of the motherfuckers that's in this league knew, motherfucker, and the Falcons ain't playing right now. I wonder where Lamar's going. You knew it, right? But there's not much work that got to be done when you look at what I did to trade to get to where I had to get to, and you go look at my roster and you see I got 3 fucking receivers on my roster. It's easy to figure out if I'm probably going to get this corner or this motherfucking receiver, and I know Lamar coming to me if he gets his quarterback. Now, what quarterback you want, I'm quite sure it's going to be the fastest one in the draft. Well, if the Chargers didn't take that, Shoguns is at 2. I'm at 3. Things domino effect. But I can tell you this tight end would have not passed 7. I'm telling you right now, and the Bengals would have picked him at 7 right away, and he would have been happier than a boy, you know what I mean, than a church mouse. I'm telling you,
yeah, no,
definitely happy as fuck. They get this type of talent right here.
I just think we got to play the game though. Like, just like you said, you was happy that he got a tight end in the first pick. How many other people did he have in a draft psychological chokehold because he had the one pick and was quiet?
Everybody had the whole. That's what I'm saying. Everybody was like waiting for he control the draft.
Instead of having fear and controlling the draft, I really think he could have completely won the draft by putting, like, the whole offseason. He could have won by putting himself in a situation where you talk to the first 5 coaches or first 5 GMs, or you just exercise like looking to maybe trade the first, like, and you keep that all tucked to yourself. Like, you keep it tucked to yourself on what you want, but still figure out, because you giving up your first, so clearly people are gonna more worry about what they want, and that's where you kind of be like, you know what I'm saying, first round, I'm looking to go. You might name like 3 positions, just like how they do in real life. I'm looking to go offense. What I like
about this coach though is, at the end of the day, this coach worries about himself and his teams. That's it. Like, no matter how it looks or what he got going on or how we feel about it, he worries about himself and his team. Where other guys is paying attention and worrying about other shit versus their own teams, right? When you hold responsibility to what you're doing and you stick to what you're doing, That's all we can ask of a person, right? Be yourself, be who you are, and worry about your shit. Look yourself in the mirror, figure things out. We're just doing a show right now. This is nothing that would be happening if this was a real fucking sports center and the analyst was talking football and the draft just happened and they talking about a team who had the number one pick. Simple as that. So it shouldn't be no hard feelings, nobody mad about it, or we're not picking on him, none of that shit. We just talking about what the man with the number one pick in the draft did. And he picked a unicorn, and around picking that unicorn, he had many other questions on that roster that we don't even know. We didn't go through the rest of his picks and see if he addressed all those needs or not. Who knows? But he picked a motherfucking unicorn at 1, and his tight end got the opportunity to be something special in this league. And after his first game, and he played a team that just played in the Super Bowl, 6 catches for 108 yards. That tells you right away that he's going to be a problem. Like, he's going to be a person that's going to be, you got to pay attention to when you play the Chargers. Right? Because no matter what you think about that quarterback, this man went out there and got 100 yards receiving in his first game. Simple as that. Now, he ain't see the end zone yet, and we know that's coming, but 106, 108 yards. Quite sure, other people was probably benefiting on this roster from that, right? You still got Quentin Johnson sitting over here. Quentin Johnson at 86 overall is at a good overall right now. Now, the only problem with Quentin is you don't have an ability on him, right? That's it. But other than that, the overall is there. Right? He's there. And now you got your number one receiver, A.T. Perry, still over here. I like him too, but we're going back to Quentin Johnson, and now you got 2 guys that you can legit, use as your offense and your scheme. Simple as that. So I like that. The tight end went 1, and the Chargers absolutely controlled the draft because we all sat here and everybody was biting their fingernails that wanted certain shit, right? I don't move to 3 to not get what I wanted, right? But I mean, but again, the board was the board. If he took the quarterback, I keep Lamar and I draft a receiver because I made myself weak at the receiver position to get to 3. All right. Now, with that being said, number 2, the Falcons were sitting at number 2, Max. And you break the Falcons roster down. First, you got to talk about a team that's been a playoff team that took the season off. Now, we can address conspiracies. We can address how people think about that. You can address what his reason was, right? At the end of the day, it don't matter what his real reason was. It matters what people think, right? So I would think the same thing everybody else would think, unless he tell me something different. Then once he tell me something different, I gotta believe it. But I put Lamar on the block. He don't play no games barely this year. He had a situation that that he had to take care of, and which I do understand because I'm dealing with that right now. But with that being said, nobody's sitting here believing that shit. You tanking because you want Lamar. Right or wrong? What's wrong with that?
Nah, nothing's wrong about the statement.
All right. So now he's sitting at number 2, but you're not sitting at number 2 for yourself right now. You're sitting at number 2 to get a player that you. First of all, he's a Ravens fan, so he wants Lamar Jackson because he's a Ravens fan, right? So you really sitting at 2, and you got to play the how do I say this? You got to play the hope Chargers don't fuck up everything, because then I would have tanked for no reason if I tank for Lamar, right? If the Chargers take this quarterback, he ain't trading Lamar Jackson, and then that's that. Now, because you're sitting at 2, you're still not in a bad situation, right? Because if things didn't fall the way it fell with the Chargers not taking the quarterback right away, or the quarterback right away, you still in a situation to take the quarterback or a player you want. You're sitting at 2. So you're going to get a win, right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
that's why I said the Falcons, I think, were in a no-lose situation.
No-lose situation whatsoever.
They were betting they bet their season on a certain GM move, but their draft position also allow them to kind of. They were making playoffs with Ritter, so like that's where I feel like you could be most comfortable. They were already making playoffs with a quarterback that they necessarily weren't ready to put another like dotted line to.
Yeah, they wasn't going to sign him to another contract at all.
But they could have went one more year with them, because I think Ritter's still.
But did they make the playoffs with Ritter? Because they did have Aaron Rodgers for 2 seasons when they made the playoffs.
He ain't played a whole second season.
Yeah, he did though. He played in the playoffs as well when he won that playoff game.
That's what I said. But they made the playoffs with Ritter.
Right. I feel.
Yeah, so I'm not mad at even if he replaces him or if he kept him, because they've shown me that they made the playoffs with Ritter. and their roster is still a little bit more established. You still got T. Higgins, you still got Bijan, who's 80% of the offense. Drake London hasn't touched his contract year yet. I think this is it. Kyle Pitts this is his contract year. So I think so you still got an offense without really putting much into it, and a lot of that is because of Bijan just being so good. So I mean, you put the perspective. The Falcons, to me, offensively, didn't have anything to win or lose. They could have got better on the receiver side, I think, a little bit. So I feel like regardless of if that pick was going to help them with the Ravens trade or would have just ended up being a pick for them, I think the receiver was still a good move at the good timing, and it fit what the offense probably would have needed.
Well, he had to make a decision. He had to figure out this. All right, I want Lamar Jackson. What do Ant need, right?
You gotta work them phones,
And now
and
you got to work all that, and then you got to figure out. All right. So what he said was, I know I see the positions you weak at, and I see what you did to get down here, down in the top 5, right? I seen what you did. So you know what I mean. I got a decision to make, and that's what he did. He made a decision. So he's either gonna go get a corner or a receiver. Why? Because that's what I traded to get down to the 3rd pick, right? So he's not really trying to pick for himself, but he still got a pick for himself just in case I don't give him Lamar. If I didn't get what I wanted, he don't get Lamar. Simple as that, right? It's the same reason why Falk jumped in front of Onk last night, right or wrong? All right. Now, when you're looking at the roster of the Falcons, they have been a playoff team and they've won playoff games, right? But again, they haven't really showed comfort with Ritter, even though you're saying they won and got to the playoffs with Ritter. He's never been comfortable with Ritter because Aaron Rodgers cut into that every year he was on that roster. And you could argue Aaron Rodgers got him to the playoffs in year 1.
He definitely did. I think the thing with Ritter is he came in like a couple other players in the league. He came in with the full age. He did, I think, all 4 years. He did all 4 years at Cincy.
Old as hell, yep.
COVID year in the back end. Not necessarily. He's being a high looked after draft pick. Couple seasons in Madden to kind of already get that true Madden overall and true Madden rating that they were going to give him. It was the best Ritter was really ever going to get as far as starting off with Madden. So coming in, I don't think Ritter ever, even the first season, I think Aaron Rodgers makes it to the team because Ritter is not going to see past that first contract more often than not. He's not seeing past that first contract for any user, not just guns, but in a decent amount of leagues, Ritter usually does not see another contract from somebody unless they literally come in and start shitting with them and they love everything about him. Other than that, it was in a lose situation for the Ritter thing. So I think it was just he was on borrowed time. He was on that contract time until further notice.
So what I probably would have did if I was Guns, I would have drafted the quarterback at 2.
Some people was talking about that. Draft the quarterback at 2. Put the Ravens in like a little bit of a. You put the Ravens in the same situation that the Chargers had them in, but make it so it's like they really got to compensate after the draft if they still want that quarterback. Or now the Ravens go and get, but then you might have lost leverage there. The Ravens go get a receiver. Maybe Lamar sits there and he's like, yeah, I fucking love this receiver. Da 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 da. Harbaugh sees Lamar one more time, and one more instance, maybe that first practice or first training camp where he saw Lamar throw to the receiver. It could have been something now, and then it would have been hard to let go. But I think not getting the quarterback let the Ravens still keep their excitement about getting the quarterback, which put a pressure and an immediate instance for Lamar to have to get
and
traded.
That's the reason why he was guaranteed to get him, because the moment I was able to get the quarterback,
it put that excitement.
It was over with after that. Because then, like, once he drafted, because this would have happened. If he drafted the quarterback, I draft that receiver.
Nobody even would have spoke about Lamar. Like nobody would have
said a fucking word. It would have been he drafted the quarterback, I draft the receiver, and then I'm playing another season with Lamar Jackson. Simple as that. And at 11, I draft the other receiver. I still go right back and get the other receiver. Right. So.
Exactly. The war room wouldn't have blinked about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Lamar needed to be traded.
That's the difference.
It was an opportunity for the Ravens to kind of go and do what some GMs are afraid to do, which is build a team, not pay the quarterback in a sense, and then kind of like trust in what you built to trust in what you built, and then you could just bring in a quarterback. Like Lamar's been dealing with it in real life for a period of time. Joe
Mm-hmm.
Burrow had to take a contract. Like, so it would have been it would have been unfortunate for Lamar to see that kind of still like ends up getting the real life contract that goes over to the game, and then he still kind of deals with the same situation. But I mean, football is always a business, so you always got to make business decisions, and millions and hundred millions of dollars and quarterbacks and Lamar, it would have been a business decision for them to either have to do it regardless, or now make it. I mean, to make it work out after the draft if he would have got the quarterback, or it was a business decision for them to know that like if no quarterback is gone, we're basically speaking in hypotheticals that Lamar is gone too.
Right. So at 2, he goes and get Nuke. He goes and get Nook Walls, the number 1 overall player in the draft. 6'4", 215-pound freak receiver. Let me ask you this: what's the difference if he takes that receiver and I don't want to trade Lamar Jackson? Is that a win or a loss for him? Everything he did, look, to be at number 2, you had to lose
If
games. From being a playoff team to not winning games, and then you get a receiver, and I don't trade you Lamar Jackson. What happens in that
now
moment?
s- I would put him in the same category. I feel like that was the instance if Lamar doesn't work, and the sad thing is we can't do on spot hot trades real life like Falcons looking to move down, Falcons on the phone.
Right.
We don't do draft trades. So I think in a real life instance, if that would have happened, quarterback, if the quarterback would have went 1, they know they're not getting Lamar now, probably in a high probability. My first thing would have been to put my second pick on the block and move to like 7, 8, whatever the hell, get
Right.
something. But now without doing that, and we can't do that, I think the receiver isn't a win, but it's not a loss. Receiver that early is weird. Justin Jefferson, Jamar, like it's weird to go receiver that early. It's people are even still like knocking real life Marvin Harrison going at 2 or maybe like 3 or even 1 because they're just like it's a receiver. Like again, there's so many things dependent on the receiver touching the ball. So if you do go receiver, I think it's one of those draft stories in the top 5 that like if when we're coming back week 12 to 18, if that receiver's not him, you would damn near be like that was a waste of a pick.
Waste
Like,
of a pick, yeah.
yeah, I think any top 5, me personally, and maybe just because I'm defensive minded coach, any top 5 pick, if it's not quarterback, I argue it can be. It most of the time can be defense.
Yeah, I
Like
mean that's how I am. Like most of the
I'm like
time,
Bill
I'm
Belichick.
going
Most of the time
defense.
it can be defense. Yeah, most of the time it can be defense unless it's an anomaly like 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". I get it, cool. Or even speed. I'll give you a reason though because it's Madden. Like if you go out there and you have a 99 speed running back that's actually good too, or a 99 speed receiver that's actually good too, I could argue that because you can't teach speed. I feel like top 5 is the things that you cannot teach if it's going to be offense or defense. You just need to go defense.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. All right, let's get back to the Falcons because they draft the number 1 player in the draft, the receiver. They draft Nooks. They draft Nook Walls at number 2. And then right behind that, right, we come and we get the quarterback Najee Israel. Now it's 3 quarterbacks in that draft. 2 of them was X factors. They were 2 top 5 quarterbacks. You had the white boy that's now Ben Roethlisberger, and you have Najee Israel. The number 1 quarterback was Ben Roethlisberger. The number 2 quarterback was Najee Israel, and you can depending on your preference of a quarterback, a dual threat or a pocket passer, you could determine which one you feel like was the better quarterback, right? Um, but we get that guy at 3. Now, what does that put us in? What situation that put us in? Now we're not keeping Lamar Jackson, and the player that we would have got at 3 if 2 or 1 would have took the quarterback is sitting at 2 already anyway. Well, one of the players, because the other one would have been the corner, the 6'4" corner that went to the Colts. Um, so now it's a phone conversation. I wanted 3 1s for Lamar Jackson, and he would have been the one that would have gave me the 3 1s for Lamar Jackson. How hard was you trying to get Lamar Jackson when I put him on a block week 1? where
Week one,
you
week
had
one it was
McCoy
heavy.
go in the chat and say, we know where he going. That shit ain't gonna help him. So he already knew where he was going. So right, knew that already. You knew. I mean, anytime I've traded Lamar, who's been the one to get him every time?
It's been guns or do we have a
That's
year
it.
where
Just
nah
guns.
Boom
Nobody
Boom
else.
came in as the Ravens and yeah
Boone
nah
came in
this
as the Ravens. He
traded
had
yeah
the Ravens.
traded it was always guns.
Guns, right? All right.
Um
So a guy that's going to give me exactly what I want for him, right? So cool. All right. So now with that being said, we at number 3. We jumped down to number 3. To get to number 3, we got rid of Zay Flowers, 94 overall. X Factor with all his boxes available. We got rid of Chris McAllister, the corner, 90 overall superstar, and a draft pick to get to the third pick with the Giants, right? So we get to the third pick with the Giants, and we go and get the quarterback Najee Israel. So it's a no-brainer now. All right, so now we just got to get through the draft and then work the details out with the Falcons, and Lamar Jackson is on his way. So in all actuality, I'll bring this up because the number 2 pick for the Falcons is Lamar Jackson,
essentially.
essentially, right?
Yep.
All right. So at 3, the first quarterback goes off the board at 3. And honestly, it was a surprise because you can argue the two teams in front of them needed a quarterback.
Quarterback, but one was in a situation to play it different. Like I said, I view the Falcons in a situation to play it different because they made the playoffs with the Raiders. So it's
Right.
to me at this point, their need to quarterback is maybe thought of as the Chargers might have thought they didn't need a quarterback in a sense, but like the Falcons have legitimately shown their quarterback is not the quarterback isn't bad, and they don't need to draft a quarterback because they have made the playoffs with the weapons and the roster that they've already had with this team right now. So anything that they're doing to this point would just be an addition.
Right.
It wouldn't really hurt them at all for them to go and do whatever they really want to a degree.
And,
Um,
and to be honest with you, outside of offensive linemen, the Falcons don't have nobody on their team really that they built through the draft. All their players is from another player's team, another coach's team. Like all the guys that make sense, or they were already homemade on that team
I was
already.
about to say already. I was about to say already there. Like Drake London, Jesse
Yeah,
Bates comes over
yeah.
in real life.
In real life,
The
you got
the last
couple
draft, Clark
linemen,
Phillips.
the DN. You know what I mean? You had a couple
From O
guys that's
State,
already
the
on the
DN from
roster,
O
right?
State.
So, but other than that, he put the pieces together with players from man, and it starts with Aaron Rodgers going there and getting him a playoff win. So it starts there. So like in his situation, he's solid, he's good. He goes out and get Lamar Jackson now. All right, so now that you did that, right, we got to talk about Lamar as that's his pick in a sense because he traded his first round pick for Lamar Jackson. Now, with that being said, what do the Falcons have to do this season for this to be a win for him?
I mean, making the playoffs is one thing. I think it needs to be a sense of it depends on how fast Lamar can like snap into the new system. But I would say winning the division has got to be the first place you start.
It has to be winning the division, right? It has to be winning the division. And
Yeah,
it should
you
be
have
some
to.
fire. It should be some fire under his ass, right? Because see, this is the thing. People only care about what affects them. Period. Right? Like people don't care, right? People don't care about shit. You can look at like if you ain't if let me see, like nobody can care about anything. I help like again. Mark don't make no drafts, no off seasons, no nothing. He's on a different time scale than all of us. So I make sure he keeps up with the league, right? And not a
Mm-hmm.
person to give a fuck about what I do for him over there at all, because it ain't gonna affect them, right? And not too many people think about if they're gonna go lose the Mark. They can care what he got, less what he got over there, what the fuck it look like. They're not gonna lose to him, so it never affects them. But when I put Lamar on the block, and you started seeing me put them Ravens on the block, and in week 1 of last season, McCoy had something to say about that shit real fast, and he's supposed to because it affects him in the division, right or wrong. That affects him.
Mm-hmm.
He got to say something. And he got to talk his shit, right? Why? Because Shogun's talked his shit. He called him out in the playoffs last time the Falcons was in the playoffs. We want the Saints. Right? He called him out. We want the same. So now you done woke up the guy that's kind of winning your division and been in the playoffs every year in that division. You waking him up a little bit because he paying attention to what could affect him. Right? And he told you, we know where he going. and it ain't going to matter. It ain't going to help you. And right now, Lamar Jackson hasn't won a game yet for the Falcons. If I'm Shoguns, we know where he going, and it ain't going to help you. It's circling in my brain right now. Right? It's circling in my brain. Now I know there's like you said, there's a period where you gotta get used to the quarterback over there and how you going, scheme and do things. But ain't that in the back of your mind though?
Oh, it's definitely got to be. I mean, it's
Gotta
got
be
to
in the
be.
back of your mind. It gotta be
It's got to
an
be.
aiming point because what it did is shake your division up a little bit, and it shows that you guys got a rival a little bit. Like you becoming two teams that don't like each other on the field.
Anytime you do take something that's working, i.e., Ritter and just that offense, or like making the play, like the way that the offense was, and
Mm-hmm.
then you move a chess piece that should make it work even better. There's always that fear or that thought or that chip on your shoulder that if you don't repeat at least what you did prior to right now, you people are going to look down on the organization, people are going to look down on the GM, people are going to look down on the coach and start questioning. You start losing that trust. People start when you got people starting to question your moves, as far as like when you look back and be like, damn, like why did we do that? That's when you lost. So I think even before that comment, it was a matter of, well, we were successful without a guy like Lamar. We built some things up. We're telling ourselves that we need a caliber quarterback that's really going to change our game. You go and get it. If they don't do at least what they've been doing, it definitely becomes a problem, and it can almost be viewed as like, damn, like did you give
When
not too
does
much up for Lamar, but
When
did
does
you
the
not
line
win?
blur? When does you blur the
Yeah.
lines? It comes down to are you getting a player that's gonna affect the division and affect your success, or you getting a player that's because he's your favorite player and he's a
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore Raven. Like, is it gonna help you win ball games, or you just happy you got a Raven, right? And that's where I think Shogun's got to show himself at now. Nah, I got
Mm-hmm.
Lamar because he's my favorite player from my favorite football team, but he great helped me whoop your ass
He
over there,
also,
and you
I was
better
about to
be
say,
worried about me.
he also changes the game, and I think you just got to make it. Like I said, you just got to make it all work. If you would have got the receiver and really kept the receiver, my mind would still be the same way. You grab something that you believe could alter your division, or at least help you for the better in your division.
Right.
Now let's make it work. If it doesn't work, you need to, for the future, and just your GM-ness and all in all, you might need to reevaluate where we fucked up on prioritizing a receiver or whatever the case be. Like for this instance, if Lamar doesn't work out, I don't think you need to question it as far as why. I think you just need to make it so now that next year, that first that you gave up, you still got to find the way to win and be like, well, Lamar is my first, and you need to still put something together to make that first round pick better, which is, at that point, it would be maybe another weapon next year,
Yeah,
or it would
because
be whatever.
Lamar wasn't just the second pick of this draft. He's the Falcons' first next year and a first after that.
And he's in full control to make it actually worth what it's worth. Like when I do drafts, and I mean, this is just, I guess, a key, what they would call it. When I do drafts, when I'm trading anything that involves multiple picks, giving up or getting, I literally look at it for a pick for pick. Like, what did that third round 71 pick get me? Okay, it got me this player. What did that next round pick get me? Now, was those two better than me having that player that I got? And then you got to learn from it, and you got to take from it, and that's how you mold your GMness to me, based on, and like, start seeing some sense of what your moves are before they really, or the cause and effects of your moves, or how you have to make your moves a win. Like
Right.
this, many of times I trade things and then be like, okay, now how do I make this a win? I
Hmm.
might have traded for it because I needed it, or I wanted it, or it was there, whatever the case. But now, how do I make it a win? And not only a win for just a couple of games, because if I'm a consistent playoff team, a couple of games is a couple of games. But how do I make it a win for my division, or how do I make it a win for me to go forward in the playoffs with this? Like, how does this really change and alter my roster, and how do I run with it?
All right. So the Lamar trade got the Ravens the number one player in the draft. This was the actual number one overall player in the draft. At mock draft 5, the offensive lineman Nick Hernandez jumped to number one. All right, now, but Nook Walls was the number one overall player in the draft. He was at 88, and by the time the draft started and we started to move through the mock draft part, he went up a point 89. Now, with that being said, that's who the Ravens traded Lamar Jackson 4 for Nook Walls and a future 27 first and a 28 first. This is a dog, bro. This is another unicorn in a sense. And what do I say about my drafts? If there's one in there, there's multiple in there, right? That same guy. The only difference going to be between them is a little bit of their attributes will be a little different, and then you're going to be looking at ability base, right? If you might got the same guy, but he is star, he's not a superstar. You might got the same guy, he's an X factor and not a superstar, or a superstar and star. Like they're in there, right? Because it was 4 receivers in that draft that were big, tall receivers that had really good speed in that draft, and all of them went in the first round. All right, so Nook Walls was the number 2 pick in the draft, and he goes, I'm just not trading picks with Ravens, man. You ain't gonna give me your pick for none of my players, cuz I ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, and you ain't the only one that wouldn't do it. That's how I go, though. But look, I bet you'll trade with Snake again, though, right? Because you know why? You traded for Max Crosby, and he's been dynamite on your team. And that's how the relationship built. You know what? You got any more D linemen over there, Snake? That's how relationships built. That's why it doesn't matter if you trade with me, because there are guys that always will. You feel me? Like, but that's the truth. You build relationships. You got guys that'll do things with certain people because the success of what it is. If both people feel like they won in the trade, that person will come back to you again. It's that simple. Anyway, so Nook Walls is sitting here, and they give the Ravens their first true number 1 receiver.
Now I traded with Ravens for defensive line, TBH honest.
Yes, sir. So now they get their true number 1. The problem was Zay Flowers was a dog for us. We love Zay Flowers, real life and on the game, but him being 5'9" was really, really hurting us. And our progression with throwing the ball downfield and throwing the ball when it comes down to possession, route running. He's great at all that stuff, but like guys got tall corners, guys got big secondary guys, man. That 5'9" shit get in the way of trying to throw corner routes to him, or like he gets swallowed up, no homo, because they so damn small. So we needed a guy like this, a 6'4", 6'3", 6'6" something. We got one that we drafted last year, Martin Johnson, and now we bring him in, and we feel like he's going to be the guy, right? Especially with that speed, it's going to be dangerous once we get him going. All right, so at number 3, my son comes off the board, and again, we got to the number 3 pick via trade with the Giants before we even got in the offseason. Once the Ravens lost, they went in GM mode and started making moves, and they traded with the Giants, and they gave up Zay Flowers, a cornerback, and a pick to be able to get to the number 3 spot, and they picked Najee Israel, and you can argue this was the best quarterback in the draft. Now, I've been making superstar quarterbacks, and this is the first year you see me make X Factor quarterbacks, right? And I just want y'all to know my process. The farther we get in the league, the better the players are going to come out. Most of y'all know that already, right? Because the overalls of your team, the overalls of your players are getting up there already. So when that start happening, we start building rookies. So now you started to see your first round top 10 guys being 84s, maybe 83s. Now you're starting to see 88s. You know what I mean? 87s, 86s, right? Around that range, you got yourself, whether he on ability or not, you got yourself a first round talent, anything that was 86 and above, right? And in this year's draft, you'll see guys probably sitting on 90 coming out the draft, right? And because you got to keep up with what the league is in. Because if you're not going to play a 75 overall first round talent if you don't got 75s on your roster. So we go get the quarterback, and we put ourselves in a situation where we got rid of Lamar, and it wasn't a necessity to get rid of Lamar. Like, we're fine with Lamar, but we haven't got over the hump. Lost the Super Bowl, lost the AFC Championship game, and lost the divisional round and the playoffs. So in my head, we just wasn't going moving forward with Lamar. I just think with his shell, there's passing problems. Like he's not a good thrower, right? And you got to put a lot of different abilities on him to make him even be, a solid thrower. And we did a really good job throwing the ball with Lamar Jackson, but I don't think it was enough to get us over the top. But we do think this quarterback can do it. And what we did was we surrounded this quarterback with the talent already. All he got to do is come in and not make the mistakes and just play, just continue to play. He had a really good game week 1, 95 yards rushing, 3 rushing touchdowns, and he threw for 270 and a touchdown in his rookie debut. So we got a guy now, and he's going to be a problem going forward. And I think what they have built around him is going to put them in a situation where they can continue to be who they have been over the last 3 seasons, which is a team that has Super Bowl potential. At 4, though, we're going to 4, and I love this pick at 4 because it's controversial in a sense. And let's talk about the Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars is probably mad at the world right now because if you look at his roster, he feel like, not winning games for the first 3 years put him in a situation where he has a really good roster. He's comfortable with his roster. He likes his roster. All they was looking for was a quarterback, right? And they went and drafted a quarterback. Now, this is what I will say. At 4, only one quarterback has went off the board. But yet, there are 2 top 5 quarterbacks. Only one of the top 5 quarterbacks went off the board, and that was Najee Israel. The other one, his name is Ben Roethlisberger now, but his name was Alex Gilkey. He was the number 1 quarterback in the draft, period, right? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Again, it's your preference. If you want a dual threat quarterback, then you're looking at Najee Israel. If you want a gunslinger, then you're looking at Alex Gilkey, hashtag Ben Roethlisberger. Now, Alex Potts was a 3rd round grade. But here's the problem. This is why he went in front of any other quarterback to the Jaguars. Because when you go look at the player card and you read the 40 time, he showed that he was the fastest quarterback in the draft. Right? And it was off by seconds, right? You had Najee Israel and you had Wayne Allen. His new name is Al something on Hitter's roster as a backup right now. But when you looked at all their 40s, and I'll explain that when I get to the next couple of picks too, I'll let you see exactly what I'm talking about. When you look at their 40 time, is the reason why Foe picked this guy instead of using his brain and getting a guaranteed top 5 guy. Like, if I'm picking a quarterback, I understand I want speed. I get it. You might want a guy that can run fast. That's fine. But if I'm that high, I don't want to pick a quarterback that I got to take a guess on if he's going to be ability based or not. I'm going to get the surefire, which is the top 5 guy. The top 5 guy coming out on the ability, period.
Or at least should be.
Or at least should be, right?
I'd rather die on that hill than drafting speed, not knowing.
And that's what happened. So he thought he was getting the fastest quarterback, and he didn't. He got the 3rd fastest quarterback in the draft. And the problem was he was a 3rd rounder, and he's a normal. And here's why. It's a lot of normals in this draft because, we are doing our training and stuff, and the more the abilities are in there, the harder it is to unlock rookies. So every draft class is not going to be full of stars and superstars. It's going to be normals coming out as well. And I started to do it from rounds 4 and down, and with quarterbacks, I started at round 3. Now, does that mean this is a loss right here? Because Foe thinks it is. He hates this quarterback at this point right now. He ain't even changed his name. Usually when a guy like the player, he changes his name. This guy's name is Alex Potts. That's who he was coming out the draft. That's who he is right now. Now, I'm going to ask you this. Is he wrong for being mad at the fact that he got this quarterback at 4?
Is he wrong for being mad at? I mean, I think you honestly, closer than not, you got kind of what you paid for, in a sense.
You got a guy that's 5 points away from being threshold 90. 5 points at quarterback.
I think the ability thing is it does hurt when it hurts because you picked 4, but you picked a 3rd rounder at 4.
You picked a 3rd rounder at 4 though.
I feel like
that's the chance you took right there.
If this was 2nd round or 3rd round, this is a win. Because it's your 1st round, 4th pick, it's definitely one of those things that's like, I'd be upset too, but it's still a better quarterback than I would say, X amount of quarterbacks in the league, and it's a more so now it turns into heavily what do you do with the quarterback?
That's the thing. But this give you opportunities. You turn Brock Purdy ain't get packaged. You can't package a quarterback. Period. You can't buy ability for a quarterback in my league. That's the one position you ain't buying nothing for. Brock Purdy became a superstar X Factor because of
Then
what?
didn't the other QB last
X
until
Factor
round
because
3?
of training, superstar just end the season development. So
So he
it's a
got
two-way street of
18
it.
weeks. He got 18 weeks to ball out with him and put him in the top 3 to 5 to better make him go up at the end of the year. And if he balling with him, you got opportunities for breakout messages, and you still got opportunities in your mini games before practice, before you play a game. The training you could do before a game can get him an ability. So if I'm him, although I will be probably doing the same thing. Oh man, I missed on my quarterback. Fuck. And then the nigga that he want didn't go off the board until the 3rd round. So ready? When I tell you, if I
Now,
make
double
one,
drafting the quarterback though, I definitely would have been mad at that. Just I would have been mad just as a
I would
user.
have
There's no
drafted if that was a loss and he I don't think he understood. I don't think he understood he was a normal. No, he knew he was a normal because right away it's not if it's not hidden, you know, it's
it
normal.
would have told you,
I would
yeah.
have drafted the other quarterback. I
Now
would have
that is
drafted
true
both
too
of them
though.
before the third. I would have drafted the other quarterback in the 2nd round. Let me
Knowing
get
I was
him.
about to say knowing that he's a normal instantly, I would have drafted.
But I get it. You know what I mean? Your team, you haven't been winning games with this football
Then
team.
the
You got
dog
shit you
went on
got to build
3rd
over here.
down.
And here's the thing. I'm going to go off his roster for a second and I'm going to show y'all when I say players. Let me look first. Let's go. I'll start at the commander since I'm here already. Let's look at Archie Z. What's his overall right now? If you're looking at my screen, you can see it. 91 with the green arrows up. This guy he's an 89. He came out at 88 right now. All right. If I click on him, you're looking at identical player as Najee Israel, who went number 3. Difference is Najee was a top 5 player and he was on X Factor, and this guy was a 3rd round selection as well, who came out on Star. Simple as that. That was the difference. If you look at this quarterback and you look at all his shit, and then you go look at the quarterback I draft, they damn near the same quarterback. Just like if you look at Foe Guy, the only thing different is he normal and he 2 speed slower. That's it. They the same damn quarterbacks. Remember, I don't make one player in the draft. I make multiple players at that position similar for guys to be able to get those type of players, because what it does is it shows who's different. You can't do what I can do with this receiver, right? Falk got a 6'5" receiver. The Bucks got a 6'6" receiver. I got a 6'4" receiver. Well, what's going to be the difference in those receivers is what you do with it,
Texans
right?
got a 6'4", 230-pound
Texans got a
receiver.
tweener. He got a guy that can play tight end, fullback, or receiver at any moment.
That's why I say, like, with the quarterback situation, that's one position I just go for. I'm gonna go for the best. I'm not gonna sit there and play
I'm
the
not going
Anthits
to.
draft
I'll
game.
tell you this: if I'm the Jaguars, I'm not worrying about that quarterback no more. Ain't trading him. Stop worrying about it and build Alex Potts. Get him right. You can do it. You throw the ball. You always got
Oh
a top
no, he
receiver in the
traded my
league. You can
first
do
and the
it.
fucking
I'm mad I
remote
traded
play
my first and the
actually
fucking
melting
remote
face,
play actually
melting
worked.
face,
Right? That
melting
sucks.
face.
That did suck. I noticed that. I saw you started the draft. I
Corey,
saw that. Yeah,
yeah,
Corey.
I
I
I
saw
don't
that
know
shit.
why he didn't I don't know why he didn't not say try it first per se, but like, I mean, now you know. Now
But
you
if
know.
y'all in here on this Thanksgiving morning, man, let us know y'all in here, man. Type y'all team name in the comment section and just say just to give us a hi, man. If you like the show right now, just tell us, just say all love. There you go. Type all love and let me know
It's
y'all in here.
all
It's
up.
all love. If you like the way we talking and with the conversation in the show and where we at with it as far as the draft right now, type all love in the comment section, man. And guess what's going to happen? You already know how we doing on specials, right? You know what I
Wolverine
mean?
gang.
You already know what comes behind that, right? We show love. Show love, I show love. Simple as that. So type all love in the comment section, man.
All
And let
love,
us know y'all here,
Wolverine
man.
gang. Fucking all love hit the LG on time.
Good
Leave
fucking
on
play,
time.
man.
All
This
love.
nigga been on some bullshit all day.
All love, happy
Oh,
Thanksgiving,
look, happy
Tears.
Thanksgiving. Way to show you who y'all are in here, man. Way to show who y'all are. 'Cause I know the conversation started off like
Best
it looked
online
like we was
spec
attacking
affiliate.
the Chargers, but we wasn't. We're just having you know what I mean? Just having a conversation about the draft like they would do in real life. All right, but look, Alex Potts, I'm not mad at him. He's an 85 overall. All he missing is an ability. That's it. Everything else is legit on this guy.
Because I wanted to be in league, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor.
I think this is an opportunity for Fo to show how serious he is, if we're being
Right,
for real.
right. Because at the end of the day, we not taking you serious, and you've been on a bubble for a couple seasons. I got too many guys trying to get in this league, and not for nothing to a credit to you guys. You guys are doing a hell of a job in the league because y'all holding guys off right now. There's guys that's telling me flat out what I gotta pay to get in the league, man. Fuck it, drop whoever not winning games right now, and I'll give you whatever you asking for to get in the league. People saying that to me right now. They get in the league, and you guys are playing y'all games, and the league is moving and chipping and doing what it usually do. And I could say even this time is even a little better. We get spicy here and there, but for the most part, guys in here enjoying themselves. So with that being said, motherfucking play your games. But Fo in a situation where he been tanking to get this roster the way he wanted it because he did some things early on. He got rid of dogs and all that shit to go through the draft and boom. And now he's in a situation where now you got a quarterback because is this quarterback not better than Hendon Hooker?
Mm-hmm.
So you got yourself a quarterback, right? Not everybody that got a fast quarterback know what they're doing with a fast quarterback, right? I don't know how you gonna implement that. Like, is that the type of quarterback you really want? When I really think you really should have had a pocket passer who should have been your pick, really. And I'm not gonna keep going back on that, but you should have picked Gilkey. You should have picked the white boy that had 98 throw power, 85 speed, 85 excel. You'd have been dotting the field up right now. Meanwhile, somebody just gave up 3 firsts to get that guy, and they ain't been out. They've been in practice mode since fucking 6 o'clock this morning.
I was about to say whistles have been on.
Whistles on. They've been in practice mode having fun. Simple as that. But I do think he can win with this kid, Alex Potts. I think he can win with him, and I think he can get him on ability. Right. I think he go hard this season to try to get him upgraded himself and see what happens. But I don't think he need to spend time on another quarterback. I think he need to ride with this pick because this your franchise guy. You picked him at 4, and it's not a bad pick. I wouldn't have dug deep into the 3rd round for a first round player like this to get him at 4. I wouldn't have did that. Anything after 10, I probably would have, but not top 5. No way. I need a surefire thing. I need a guy that's going to be ability based. And you already know who the ability based guys are because they're going to be top 5, top 10 guys. You know it. The game tell you they top 5, top 10. When you're looking at them, they tell you top 5, top 10. All right, but Alex Potts, man, from out of Miami. And Miami won the championship this year in college football, man. And you'll see what I mean when you start to see the talent that got drafted from the University of Miami this year. And Alex Potts, part of that. He's the championship quarterback that they've been missing. The second coming of baby Lamar. All right, so before we leave the Jaguars and go to the next team, how do you capitalize off of this pick, though? All right, now that you got it, you got to live with it. How do you capitalize off of it?
I mean, just put it all too. You got Kaifa over there that was shitting. You got the fast tight end that I think made the Pro Bowl, like 92 speed there. You've been having the ability for at least, this disc, you've already shown that when you built ETN, the X Factor, you was doing that. Then last disc, you was building running backs at the end and just building running backs. So I think you have an opportunity. I don't know if they drafted a running back. And I'm in a game, so tell me. But look,
when you tanking or you losing games, you got the opportunity to be able to pick. And that's what happened over 3 drafts. He was then being able to have the pick of the litter because he's been in the top 10, and he's getting players. If you look at this roster, again, he's saying here quarterback away. Even though he drafted his quarterback, his comment to me was, "I'm a quarterback away, bro." And I love my team right now.
With Albert coming in last year, and Albert ain't fucking play a game, coming in winning that division. I think if the Jags can't win the division like after 3 years of top 5 picks or top 10 picks, then I mean, time to reevaluate.
I mean, look at the roster. This roster is look at this roster. The roster is good, bro, because he did play his games. That was the other thing. He built players by playing his games, right? And look at the roster right now. Like, he got a really good roster over here right now to compete with. And he should better compete in his division with no issues. I mean, he got dogs everywhere. Like, and this is what happened when you picking in the top saying every draft, at every pick. This is how guys that don't win ball games build their teams because they got guys that don't really gotta be built that much. Simple as that, right? Now the Colts, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100. I've been all in with Seahound, bro. Seahound has been impressive over the last two discs to me. Um, Listen, bro, he sat patiently and said, Chargers took the tight end. Good shit, my boy, 305. Then he said, damn, I don't need a receiver though, but that tall ass receiver looked good over there for the Falcons. Then he said, damn, Ant took a quarterback. The fuck, he about to trade Lamar. And he probably was like, he about to trade Lamar to Shoguns guaranteed. Then he said, the Jaguars took a quarterback. Fuck, I don't need a quarterback. I got AR-15. And he said, you motherfuckers just picked everything y'all wanted right now and just left this nigga sitting here for me to get, like, for real, like, for me to get him. He got a 6'4" top fucking 25 player. And because he's 6'4" and the speed he playing with, he became a top 10 player at 85 overall. Look at this shit. Joshua Luckett, 6'4", 190 out of Notre Dame, 95 speed, 91 excel. What do you not like about this player right here? This is a win at the cornerback position. Not only did you get a fucking 6'4" tower, you got a guy that's flying.
What team is this?
Colts at 5, they get Joshua Luckett, the number 1 corner on the board.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like the pick all the way around. The Colts, they had a nice little offseason, I think. The Colts did okay.
Yeah, he did good, but he's done good in all the drafts so far, man. Like, you gotta think about it. Like, it was a lot of good. Like, this was the draft that I thought receivers would be dick rolled because it was a lot of good receivers and good speed receivers in the draft. But he took care of that the year before, right? You saw what he did with Josh Downs. Then he goes and get the fastest man on the planet, Andrew Roth, right? Not only that, I don't know where the other guy at. He call him Trey Knox right here. Trey Knox sitting right here. 90 overall, 94 speed, 98 excel. So he got his speed burners, and then you got Josh Downs, who was all everything for him. His receiver core is legit. He been trying to trade Jonathan Taylor, and the funny thing is I don't know why nobody came and got Jonathan Taylor. Like the Chargers
I'm
still
really
benefit from
surprised.
Jonathan Taylor right now.
I'm real like what
Like
I'm
I would go
really
trade for
surprised
Jonathan
was
Taylor. Now you got a running back to go with your tight end and your receiver right now. But Jonathan Taylor's still on here, and he also went and got Gregory Posey this year, so he like his running back room. He still want to get rid of Jonathan Taylor, probably. I would think so. And he gonna probably ride it out with Gregory Posey. And why it makes sense for him? Because he's a good runner, knows how to run a football, and he knows how to build a running back. So I like it. But that corner solidifies the back end because the one thing he got is safeties. The safety game is off the hook over here. And we had a bunch of kids that came out of this draft, right? You got Kendall kid, you got the other kid that went to the Bengals, and the D tackle kid that went to the Bengals, all related to each other, right? They were in this draft. Two of them played safety, one of them played D tackle. One of them went pick 7, the other one went pick 10 in the second round. But with that being said, he got a really good secondary, in my opinion, already. He snatched up Antoine Winfield from your ass when you let him go to free agency, and he got some solid corners. And now the
tell me about
cornerback
it.
room, look, you got 6'3" and Julius Brent, superstar. You got Romeo Eli, who's 6'3". Then you go get Joshua Luckett, who's 6'4". Who you throwing over? Like, you better not. You ain't gonna better put it in the hole. And these guys don't catch picks. This, they drop picks, but they bat everything down. So when you got 6'4", 6'3", and 6'2" batting shit down, 6'3", 6'3", and 6'4" batting shit down, you got some guys, bro. You got some guys back there. Like, he got a good secondary, man, and it ain't gonna be easy. We played them tonight. Today at 10 o'clock, we actually played them. It's already 10:30, but when the show is over, that's who we play. Coach Ravens, you got young Najee Israel going up against these tall tower ass receivers. DBs, and then you got to deal with the speed of that offense over there. But how you like this pick though, Joshua Luckett?
I like the pick. I think put the emphasis on the defense. Defense is always important. And I think with the way that they've kind of already been playing well, I think it can be something good for the team on defense to kind of keep them going, keep them young. The defense really for the Colts doesn't have anybody that's insane when you start the disc. DeForest Buckner probably being the most insane, but um, I think it'll be a good opportunity for them to just get something going in the secondary.
I don't think you can go wrong when you get a top tier defensive player. You get the number one player at 5 at cornerback, right? The number one cornerback on the board at 5. I like it. I like it. He wanted that. He wanted that height because I'm quite sure he saw the Miami kid who was running 98, who this guy runs a 4.23. And then there was the other guys in here that ran a 97, 90. It was like three. It was, and then it was a 99 speed corner in this draft as well. Like, they were flying. It was some speed this year. We had some speed in this draft, but he got the 6'4" guy. I think he got the guy that can, that can come on the field and play right now. And now he's 3 deep at the cornerback position. And obviously Brents and Luckett should be your 1 and 2. Eli should be in the motherfucking slot playing football for you. I like the pick, man. I like what he did. Excuse me. It was a safe pick, and it was the right pick for the Colts. I think they attacked offense last year. They're attacking their defense this draft. All right, now the next team up was number 7, and that was the Bengals. And the Bengals draft was kind of flipped upside down because on their board they thought nobody would be reaching, and they'll be the team that reach for a 6'9" tight end. Because although that tight end is a unicorn, most of the time tight ends don't go in the top 10. Most of the time they don't go in the top 10. But the tight end went at pick 1, and it fucked the Bengals board up. But then they switched put the switch on a little bit. And what they did was they went and got one of the better D tackles in the draft right away. And they go get Jason Kidd, not the basketball player or the coach. They went and got the D tackle, 6'3", 350 pound, Jason Kidd. I don't see how this is not a win. 78 speed, that's 350. 83 excel at 350. 95 strength at 350. Already got 89 block share and green arrows up on his finesse move. Now, for him to have 95 strength and 82 power move, I think he need to get that up a little bit. That's where he probably gonna work his situation out.
Whole pound of bacon.
You burnt it?
Burnt the shit out of it. Fresh bacon cooked different. Mm-hmm. So, you had your mom make you breakfast anyway. So.
I just say yeah every time because if I don't, she get mad. All right, so.
You got breakfast down there anyway.
Well, why don't we have breakfast down there? You don't want Italian sausage? Or it ain't enough?
No, I'm making scrapple.
Oh, okay.
You don't eat scrapple.
Yeah, nah. And get your black ass out of here. You're making scrapple. Go ahead, get out of here, bro. You fucking my show up. Love you. All right, so I like this Jason Kidd kid, man. Listen, man, and what that happens now is the Bengals getting richer up front. Their front 4 is fucking ridiculous, and they just made it that much better. And you team him up with Dexter Lawrence, and you got a machine there. And he got to do that because let's just call it what it is. The AFC North, when it comes down to the front 7 and the pass rushers that they got on these teams over here, it's insane, and you got to keep up with it. You better be able to get to the quarterback and stop the run in that division. If you can't, you got DTR that'll dot you up. You got Joe Burrow over there, right? And then not for nothing, you got the run games of every last one of those teams. The Steelers, the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Browns all got good run games as well. So I think he did it. I think he did the safe pick and the best pick he possibly could have made when the guy he actually wanted went off the board already in Jason Kidd. I like this pick, Max. What you got to say about Jason Kidd right now before we go on to pick 8?
I like Jason Kidd. I like the.
Oh, let me let y'all know the Bengals. Let me let y'all know the Bengals got this pick for via trade with the Panthers. They sent a receiver and who the fuck they sent over to the bank? I can't remember who they sent to the Panthers to be able to move down to the 7th pick, but they sent 2 players to move down, a couple of players to move down. But this was the Panthers pick. They traded it to the Bengals. To get J Kidd. Next up was the Cowboys. Now, last year the Cowboys, and this is another thing, right? Look, we're gonna have the same conversation about the Cowboys that we had in the beginning about the Chargers, right? The Cowboys didn't play a game this year. And I don't know if he tanked on purpose, but he does have a newborn baby, and I can understand why he had a good excuse not to really play his games. So I'm not going to boot him out the league for somebody new because he had a legit excuse, newborn baby. But the Cowboys, to me, they missed on that quarterback last year. They drafted the wrong quarterback in the first round. Bottom line, they did the exact thing the Jaguars did, but the difference was the Jaguars actually still won, but they didn't win here. 88 throw power, 83 speed. It's like nothing attractive about Carter Capps. 5'11", 219, don't got a strong arm. Like
They should be selling whatever to get any quarterback in the league. I don't
but
know what
yet,
quarterbacks out there. I would go get any single one. The Panthers got two actually.
but look, they had a top 10 pick in every round, and they never drafted the quarterback this year. So what do that tell you? It tells you something.
Incompetency.
It's right. But this is who they playing with. 60.8 QBR,
Oh my God.
656 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions to start the season off with. 53 completion percentage right now. Like, this is not the quarterback, and Jerry Jones probably mad as hell over here. And he's not the guy, he's not the quarterback, and yet he didn't try to do anything to get a quarterback by drafting one. I mean, you got a team in your division that got one of the best quarterbacks in the draft in the third fucking round, and you never came back to get a quarterback. I'm confused on what the fuck he was looking at. What did he see during that draft that he did not pay attention to? I mean, you had Hoodie, who got another starting quarterback that was undrafted, superstar, and Archer, and you didn't get a quarterback. Yet you out here flinging picks around with a guy that's 5'11" and 88 throw power right now. If he win his division, the rest of you guys should be ashamed of yourself over there. Simple as that. With that being said, they picked a running back. To me, you never go running back in the top fucking 10 and the top 10 at all unless he is a unicorn, generational talent. And who they got, to me, wasn't that at all, because if you look at the running back position, they did get a high overall guy, 85. You're looking at a true 85, too. 95 speed, not bad. And look, man, not for nothing, this is a good running back. 95 speed, 91 excel, 93 agile, 92 change of direct. And then you look at his ball carrying vision, 93. But then look at the break tackle, truck, and the stiff arm. For him to be 200 pounds, this is Emmitt Smith all over again, bro. Just faster, 90, 90, and 90. Break tackle, truck, and a stiff arm. This is a good running back. I think this running back would have been there in the third round. So you paying the third rounder, in my opinion, top 10 money right now, and you bet he better be the reason why you win ball game. Let's see what he got to come in and start right away. Jerry Jones, and then you gave him number 22. You bet, man. You might as well change his name to Tommy Smith. I'd have changed it to motherfucking Emmitt Smith Jr. I like it, though. I was a Cowboy. And then you only give him one carry. You played 2 games already and gave this guy, did he play 2 games? I think he played 2. 2 games already, and he only got 1 fucking carry for 2 yards? Are you fucking kidding me? This is a baby dog, though, but I just think the running back position, you can get those type of running backs in any round, bro. Like, any round. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like the Cowboys wasted the top 10?
I think that'll be to come. Because, I mean, it looks like it early, but there's a lot of football left. But it looks like it early with 2 damn carries. I know it's week 1, but hot damn.
That's because he's trying to win now that he's playing. It's not like all right, we're going to slow pace build this thing. We know we got a butt quarterback, but we're going to, even though Tony Pollard ability, we're going to work this. We're going to start this Tommy Smith kid and get him going so we can get him on ability or even unlocked. They running Tony Pollard right now because they want to win ball games, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you want to win ball games, you better draft the motherfucker that's going to play on the field right now. And when you're in the top 10, when you're in the top 10, the guy you draft better be a starter. He better be able to come on the field and play right now.
And have impact.
And have an impact. Yeah, project to have impact.
Because,
yeah.
I mean, get in the game and he's not ready, then, you just know you drafted talent too early. But you got to at least make him get the availability to have impact. Put him in situations.
And they saying, if you look at Tony Pollard's card, it's saying his player tag is trade target veteran. Like, they pretty much telling you to get rid of this motherfucker. And then I'm not playing Tony Powell. I don't care that Tony Powell is a superstar. Here's why. Your rookie running back that you drafted is a better running back than him right now. Tell me I'm wrong, Max. If you look at the stuff that I'm reading off attribute-wise for Tommy Smith, he's better than, and this is the problem. Guys don't see that. They see an overall and got green arrows up or overall, and they just think because that overall is that player is that. No, right? First of all, a drafted running back is always going to come out better than a regular running back because especially a regular running back that's been in the league. If he's not a rookie or first year player, he's not getting touched by me. So he's never going to have the shit that the running back from the draft class is going to have, right? For example, Tony Pollard has 85 agility, 88 change of direction. Well, Tommy Smith has 93 agility, 93 change of direction. Tony Pollard got 73 truck, 71 stiff arm. Tommy Smith has 90 truck, 90 stiff arm. Right there makes him the better running back right now. And if you pick this guy at 7 or 8, wherever you picked him at, when they picked him at 8, no, where the fuck he picked him at? He picked him at 8. Yep, 7 with the Bengals. This guy's supposed to be on the field and changing your because you could build around a running back. Like the running back could be your franchise guy until you get the quarterback, right? You can kind of get away with like right now, me getting rid of Lamar Jackson and playing with Najee Israel is not going to be such a problem because I got backfield. My running back is a problem. The line is there already. We only got one rookie offensive lineman playing, and the line is there already. So we have the weapons built for a rookie quarterback. D West don't have that. He got a solid offensive line, but he don't got the quarterback play. So in all actuality, D West needed to go quarterback in his draft, and he needed to go quarterback early. Like he should have went at that pick and got a quarterback. Oh, sorry. He should have went at that pick and got a quarterback. And the fact that he didn't is a problem for me because I think that running back, as good as he look on screen right now, if I was just to go through the running backs that came out this draft, you're going to see guys that had 4th round picks, 5th round picks, 3rd round picks that got running backs that look exactly like this running back and some of them better. So, Max, give me a grade for the Cowboys and their pick and how you feel about it so we can move on to pick number 9. I know what I'll give his ass. All right, chat. Since Max ass is fucking always doing it, by the way, he's the worst.
I'm in a game.
Co-host. You already playing a game?
I'm in a game.
In our league?
Mm-hmm.
Who you playing?
Hoodie.
Oh yeah, you can't talk no more. You can't talk no more. You act like you ain't playing a dog. All right, but I'm all right. Talk to me, chat. Tommy Smith, how y'all feel about him as the 8th overall pick? And while I'm waiting for some comments to come in, and remember, participation on Thanksgiving is key. Because when this motherfucking show over and I tally up everybody that said all love or all in love, it's going to be a situation when I come over there and check on your team and you start getting a little gift. Is because you participating and you showing love and you showing us that the show matters to y'all today on Thanksgiving Day. Right now, right? All right, so number 9, the Tampa Bay Bucks. Good morning, Robert.
RB should have took Packers RB. Happy Thanksgiving.
Exactly. Happy Thanksgiving, bro. Nah, you got a good running back, bro. Like you got an ability. Wait, did your running back come out on Superstar, or did he go up? I need to know, Drew. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 9. Now, before I go to their pick, I'm gonna go to what they look like right now.
Browns, he's still hitting.
Give me that. Atwater. Steve.
Now, when I saw the Bucks up, I'm thinking they gonna go quarterback, right? And then I realized, no, they not. They got Tua. I didn't, I forgot Hoodie. He came out Superstar. Oh, you got yourself a dog. Now you got two type of backs now. You got the smaller back, that's a receiver and running back, and then you got your power back that's on Superstar. Like, I like your backfield. That's what's up. Tua Tagovailoa goes to the Bucks during the
Pause.
off season. So they got themselves a quarterback. He didn't need that. Sean Tucker has been pretty solid for them, so they're good at the running back position. Um, I look at the receivers and you see they go get D. Saunders at pick number 9. And they win. 6'6", 200 pounds, 93 speed, 93 XL. This man got 99 special catch. I mean, the moss is going to be real right now, right? And this is the reason why you're seeing nothing but big receivers getting drafted this year, because that's the way the cookie crumbled. We had big receivers with speed this year. But let's just give the credit to the guy that was going crazy with a big receiver, and that's the kid Moss. Reggie Moss for the Buffalo Bills went bonkers this year, and he looked like a regular Randy Moss for real, and it turned all our attentions onto, damn, I need a big guy with speed. And that's what happened. And D. Saunders goes number 9 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, here's the funny thing. So we knew Nook Walls that went number 2, right? The number 1 player in the draft. Not only the number 1 receiver, he was the number 1 player in the draft. But the number 8 overall player in the draft is still on the board, and we are 9 picks in right now. The 6'5" receiver who runs a 4.24. We'll talk about that in a second, right? But this is another situation where you're looking at the 40 time and you're not reading the other stuff you need to be reading that I'm not going to talk about. But you're looking at the 40 time, and tell me if am I wrong here, Junkyard? Tell me if I'm wrong. His 40 time read that he was the fastest receiver out of the big guys. All right, so
Thanksgiving, fellas.
Happy Thanksgiving, my boy. But this is a monster receiver right here, bro. Now here's the thing, though: the quarterback in Tua is not going to be a guy that's going to stretch the field with a gunslinger. But a guy like this can be very special for Tua. Tua used to throw on the 5'10" and 5'8" receivers. This guy right here at 6'6", 200 pounds, bro, that gives you a dynamic weapon on the outside. And he comes in to me right now. He comes in to be the number 1 receiver. And just think about the overall. He had 88 overall already. I can go to progression history and see how many points he went up since he came out. But this is a dog pick right here. And to be honest with y'all, this guy was on my board. In my mind, I had 3 ways things would go. And that 6'4" corner would have been on my roster at 3 if things would have went opposite of what I was looking to do. And in the second round, I thought he would still be there, and I would be able to get him in the second round. Well, I was wrong because he went number 9, and now he's the second receiver off the board at number 9. And a damn good receiver at number 9 at that, right? This guy jumping out the building. He already 6'6". He already can run. That 93 speed tells you he's a 4.4 guy.
Gotta look at speed report. They can run.
Yeah, the 40 don't matter at all.
He says good or great speed. Something is a little low. He was running 4.3 and 4.4.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, because the other receivers, the 2 other tall receivers that went, they said they was running damn near the same speed, but like they wasn't. Like 98 speed ain't 4.3.
Small also needed something.
So this is a win right here for the Bucks, in my opinion. They got their quarterback in the offseason. They have a really, really good running back in the backfield. And goddamn, they got a 6'6". Look, having a 6'6" receiver running 93 speed, 93 XL is like having a 5'8", 5'9" receiver that got 95 speed, 96 speed. This is a guy flying right now. If y'all just coming in right now, man, please hit the like button. And also, you know what I mean, all in, right? All love today, right? So type that in the comment section if you guys want. I'm definitely giving a gift out for this show. Definitely giving gifts out. But I'm not giving it out unless you participate in the show and you reveal yourself. Like, I don't need guys hiding themselves in here waiting to pounce on every little thing we say. I need guys in here that's going to enjoy the love and enjoy football conversation, because our league is like a real football league, bro. Our shit the truth, and it's chipping. And there's a lot of motherfucking opinions that go along with it. All love, my boy. All love. But D. Sanders, man, I like this guy. Let's see what he did in the first game. Look, right away, 5 catches, 93 yards, get him involved. Let's go. Well, they got their number one over here, and don't think Trey Palmer ain't a dog too over here. Man, I like it at number 9. So the Bucks do some good work. And then at 9, we'll talk about that on the next show. Right now, we're just going to the top 32 picks of this year's draft. And then we'll talk about, what they did as a whole. But right now, D. Saunders comes in, and that's an immediate starter. This is what you want. You want a guy that's going to come in and start right away for you when you pick in the top 10. All right. Now, at number 10, the New York Football Giants was on the board. And I talked to this guy. I knew what he was looking to do. We conversated about a lot of things. And, at first, if you looked at what he did last year, he attacked the defense and offensive line last year. This year was the receivers and the skill players for him. He had a lot of picks. He had two firsts. He had a lot of picks this year. And he got some next year as well because he's been trading his pick to get picks. He's been trading his picks to get picks. He's been trading his picks to get players. And he traded players to get picks. So he's been moving around. He might not be super successful on the field and winning ball games, but if he's picking in the top 10, and he's not only picking in the top 10, he's getting players from people and getting picks from people. It tells you he can put a team together because he got the capital to do it. But I think because he traded us for Zay Flowers and he got a corner in that deal, I think he went away from having to go to his first need in his mind, which was receiver, because he addressed that in the trade. And he went and got what he needed, which was at the linebacker position, whether it was outside middle or left or right or middle linebacker. He went out and he got the number 1 right outside linebacker in the draft. And he's a guy that could play inside or out at middle linebacker, or he could play on the edge as well. I think he ended up moving him to middle linebacker. I'm not sure. I'm about to check it now, though. But he got a guy, right? And you're looking at that guy, and you look at the Giants, and you go look at what he did at linebacker. And I do think he moved him to Zach Bowman, and 84 overall. He got Red Owls down right now, though, so he's a true 85. And then when he unlocks, now you must ain't do your training right because he should be unlocked already. Superstar. So that's a win here. When he unlocked, that's a win. They got themselves a dog at the linebacker position, 88 speed, 90 excel, 88 agile, 92 change of direct. So he athletic excel and he can run sideline to sideline. Block shed is 81, power move 78, hit power 90. So he look like he can take a head off or two. And his awareness and play record is reading arrows down right now because he lost his first game. He might even lost his first game. I don't think he played the second game. I think they played the Bengals. So Zach Bowman is better than what he's showing over here because he's showing Red Owls down. And this is a good pick because this was a need pick right here. And, if you go through the Giants' entire draft, they got everybody they wanted but one player. It was a running back they wanted that somebody got, and that was the Packers, I think, took that running back before they can get him in the second round, pick 2 or pick 3 in the second round. But I ain't mad at him at all. I like what he did here. It's not a bad pick at all because it's what he needed. So the Giants at 10. So that was your top 10 picks. In that top 10, you had 2 trades that happened before or after the draft. You had 2 trades that happened. Baltimore traded to get to the 3rd pick before the draft, and then they traded the Falcons after the draft for the number 2 player in the draft. Now we're going to 11 to 15 right now. And now at 11, the Ravens come back up at 11. All right, so let's talk about the Ravens. They had the 30th pick. They trade with the Chiefs, and they give up extra draft picks next year and a player to move down from 30 to 17. And then right before the draft, they trade with the Eagles, and they send to go from 17 to 11. So 6 spots we gave up. Before the draft started in the 2026 draft class, we gave him a 5th, 6th, and a 7th. And then we gave him a 2027 1st and a 3rd to move 6 spots. That's it. That's how desperate we was to get down to 11. And when it was a rhyme and a reason, but we gave it up. We gave the house up to get down because only way he was going to move if I gave him the house. And sometimes you just got to give what you got to give up, what you got to give up to get what you want. And we moved down to number 11. And then our theme was we stuck to the script of what we was going to do. Although we traded a corner, we didn't trade our top corner. He was the number 4 corner on our roster, and we still had a guy that we was comfortable with pitting at that number 4 corner. But our receiver position was a real issue for us. We liked our receivers, but we think we could be better at that receiver position. And, guys are going to come up with contracts. Some of them we don't want to give contracts to. So we knew we were going receiver in this draft. And long as the guy was there when it was our pick at 11, and he was, and we copied the Colts and did what the Colts did last year, and we got the fastest man on the planet in the draft that year on offense, because this year it was mad guys flying on defense in the secondary this year. That was 98, 99 speed. It was a lot of guys you'll see as we click on these guys and go to it. But Jaquez Lewis, 99 speed, 98 excel. What attracted us to him was the agility, elite. He had elite agility, elite change of direct. He had all that stuff. It was elite jumping and all that stuff. So we knew we were coming back and getting him. Now remember, at the time we picked him at 11, we knew we was going to trade Lamar, right? But we still played the board as if we needed a receiver. We just got rid of Zay Flowers and end up going to go get the prototype of a Zay Flowers just way faster. And I understood that, but on our roster, we knew we had a 6'3" receiver that's up and coming that was a rookie last year. That we knew, all right, well, if worst case scenario, Martin Johnson will be our number 1 receiver on the outside for us to hold us down. So we go get Jaquez Lewis, and we get a win here, 99 speed with our coaching trees and 99 excel. But as you can see, 97 agile, 95 change of direct, 98 special catch, and he got 98 jumping. So we go get a Tyreek Hill, and now we complete our receiving room. And now take a look at it as if we don't have Nook Walls yet. Right now, we just have Jaquez Lewis because the draft wasn't over and we didn't make the trade yet with the Falcons to go get the 6'4" guy. We like him. We think he's going to be a good special teams guy for us. He's going to be a good receiver for us. We're not grooming him to be a slot receiver. We want him to be outside on the edge. Because we don't think we're going to give Mike McEwen a contract, and we love Peter Warrick. So Mike McEwen's the next one up. We don't know if we're going to be able to afford him to give him a contract. So we needed a guy to be our speed runner. White Mike. And when you do your training camp shit, look what happened.
Wait, Hoodie, this quarterback Hoodie got's a rookie?
Yep.
My fault. Oh, shit.
Yes, sir.
Oh, shit. Well, I'll tell you right now.
Berg not going nowhere.
He cleaned up a little bit of some shit. This nigga, watch out.
All right, so at 11, the Ravens come back and get the fastest receiver on the board. Now, is he the fastest receiver at 99 with 98 excel, or is the 6'5" guy that ran a 98 speed actually the fastest guy? I would think the 6'5" guy with 98 speed is faster than a 5'9" guy or 5'8" guy with 99 speed. Do that make sense to a lot of y'all, or I'm just reaching here? And he already had 336 snaps, and he don't even start. I don't even think he got a pass, and I don't even think he touched the ball. Oh, he did 3 for 18. Did touch the ball. I know he touched it on punt returns and kick returns. Oh, he got shot on the punt returns. Yo, somebody tell me how I heard the coach receiver the fastest man on the planet. Because he still is, even though some fast guys that came out this draft. But this Andrew Roth kid, look at this shit, fellas. In one game this year, look, 9 catches, 157 yards and a touchdown against the Bengals, right? That's against the Bengals in the loss, 34-48, 9 for 157 and a touchdown. 8 kick returns for 333 yards at 41.6 yard average, and he scored 2 touchdowns. This man had a receiver day for 3 games, 2 games for most people. He did that in kick return yards. 8 kick returns for 333 yards, 41. He averaged 41 yards every time you kicked it to him. And he scored twice. That's just kick returns. Got shut on a punt though. That's disgusting. That's speed. That's what true speed look like. Mm-mm-mm. All right, the number 12 pick. The number 12 pick was the Cardinals, and they did what I was like. That's a guy that's drafting right now because they tore the cornerback room up and all the skill things they needed. They did a really good job of that last draft. But the Cardinals went and got what they needed, and they got the number one lineman in the draft at left tackle, and decided to turn him from black to Puerto Rican face, and I wanted him to stay black face, but whatever. Nick Hernandez, as y'all can see, he comes in the league 88 overall on Superstar, ready to go, and this is the guy that jumped Nook Walls as the number one player in the draft. He jumped him during mock draft 5. He went up to the number one guy. And before combines happened, he started to move up the board. And he's 6'8", 345 pounds, and they got a monster on the edge to be able to block for that really good quarterback of theirs. I like it. Like the pick. Like and we're looking at pick 12, and it's the first lineman. This is the first lineman we saw go. 12 picks where you in a league where the line barely develops, and it took 12 picks for a lineman to go off the board. Thank God for the Broncos, because shit, that man been drafting linemen. He getting that shit together over there. We must protect our house. This is one of the best players in the draft. This is the top 3 talent that went off the board at 12. Shout out to A1, the Cardinals. All right, at number 13, the Vikings was up at 13, and they went and got something you can't teach. We all know what that is. You can't teach it. Right now, he comes in the league, the best player in that secondary right now. Already at 90 with the green arrows up, 89 overall. Another top 5 player in that draft right here, 89 slot right now. And he already had 476 snaps. So he about to unlock. And what is he going to unlock to? Not 100% sure. But as long as he's a star or a superstar, he's a dog star. It don't even matter that he's not a superstar at all. It doesn't matter, because that star with that type of speed and that type of talent, because you're not looking at a guy that's just coming in here with all speed and that's it and got to be completely built. You're looking at a guy that's coming in that already has 78 man, 75 zone, 81 press right now, catching the ball 90, and he's an athlete, agile 96, 95, change of direct, play rec 78. Awareness 78, play rec 81. He's ready to go. And as you can see, he's their guy right now. And I'm quite sure he's going to be their number one corner. If not, they probably play him in the slot to get him developed some more before they put him back out there to start trying to shut down your number ones. And when you're playing in the NFC North, you got to deal with the passing game, right? You got to deal with speed at the receiver position too, as well, right? So you needed that speed to be able to deal with some of these guys in this league already. Shout out to the Vikings. Great fucking pick. $14, the Steelers is on the board, and they go get the number one right end. Well, he was the number one left end on the board. The number one right end went to the Jags. He went and got the number one left end on the board, and that's I'm sorry, James Harrison the second. All right, now 82 overall doesn't make him a top player in the draft. I mean, this is almost outside of the first round range. Almost outside of the first round range at 82 overall. But he does have attributes that you can get familiar with. 86 speed, 85 excel. He's a speed rusher, good change of direction, really good strength for DNs. 84 power moves, strong as an ox, and 80 across the board. So he's a development project. I don't know if he comes in to start day one for this team, but this is a solid player, and a really good pick. Now, I think there's other players out there, but sometimes you just pick what you need versus what you want. And I think because they had the opportunity to they had an opportunity to come right back up because they didn't just have the 14th pick; they had the 14th and the 18th pick. So I think what they was thinking to do was we're going to get something we need right now, and then come back and get what we want at 18. But as I continue to talk, things didn't go the way the Steelers had planned, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes you take the gamble, and it happens. Oh, come on, Mom. Sometimes it happens, fellas. I'm on my show, Mom. What you need?
Oh, cigarettes?
All right, I'll go out. As soon as my show over, I'll go.
Okay.
All right. Now, this is a top 15 pick, but as you can see, this is the worst overall player out of the picks. But that doesn't mean it's a bad pick, in my opinion. What I do think is sometimes you have the luxury to be able to allow somebody to grow. Sometimes we call it red shirt and don't let them play yet. I don't know if this guy's going to get on the field yet. I don't know. Maybe he might even be starting him. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Although I played them week 1, yeah, he didn't see the field at all. So I think this is more of a red shirt process at 14. And the Steelers roster is loaded. I don't think they really need much. Everything they got was luxury and depth. So they didn't really need much. Plus, he's more happier than anybody in the league right now because he traded 3 first-round picks and got the best quarterback in the draft, period. So, all right, well, there you go with that. The Steelers were at 14, and at 15, the Texans, and they got to steal, my boy. Oh, my God. Texans, to me, they got to steal. They got the third biggest corner in the draft, and Jalen Gore. Look at the overall right now, man. This guy's 87 overall. Now he's going to have to develop at the man in zone 83, 83, pitch him in a second round type talent. But that 87 slot tells you as a slot nickel corner, he's a top fucking 10 player in the draft right now. So they got a really good player here. Especially since Stingley got traded, they needed another corner to come over and be a force for them, and they was able to do that and get it done there. I think the only thing they're looking for is to get some abilities over here, right? Got to get these guys ability up somehow, because you playing with a secondary with nobody on ability. And it hurts when you're playing some of the top tier teams that do got abilities at receiver. But the way they play defense, they compensate for it. And it really doesn't hurt them as much as most people probably will complain having a bunch of corners with no ability, no matter what their speed and shit look like. They don't have no ability, and you're going up against guys that got route tech and all that shit on them. They still do a hell of a job in what they do scheme-wise defensively, how they play the game. They force you to put drives together. So their DBs are mostly playing zone and not playing man-to-man, and they sitting in zone for the most part. For like 95% of their defense, they're sitting in zone, and they do a good job of being where they need to be at. They keep everything in front of them and make you have to go down and pit long drives together and be perfect on those drives. But I think Jalen Gore come over with 79, man. Look, remember, he reading red arrows down because they lost. So when you're reading red arrows down, you're not showing who you truly are, right? So we know his man is on. Let's take a look at him and see what he really is. So this man came in this league right now, 82 man, 80 zone, right? Then you take a look at his hit power. So what did that tell you he can do? At 6'4", at 6'3", you got a corner, and I said this, I'm not going to say it again, but he's sitting on 80 tackle, 85 hit power, 76 play rec right now. Let me shut up. He got somebody. He got somebody solid right now. That's what's up. That's a steal. This becomes, if he understands what he becomes one of the better picks in the draft.
Play safety too.
Yes, sir. He's a tweener. He can play both positions, and you can intertwine him. So now he defies our rule because he can play both positions because he has 80 hit power. He has 80 or above hit power, 80 or above tackling, and that puts him in that situation. You look at his block shed. You got to look at block shed, finesse moves, and then look at hit power tackling on your corners. And if they 80 or above, it got to be at least an 85 hit power, but 80 tackling and above, 75 to 80 when it comes down to all the block shed, finesse stuff like that, you got a guy that can play both corner or safety. Antonio drafted 2 tweeners, drafted a wide receiver that can play tight end or receiver or fullback. And right here, and Russ Otto, 6'4", 235. Guy can play either or. Look at his secondary attributes. Pass blocking. Look at him. Look at this. Run block 78. Pass block 70. Impact 75. He's ready to go.
Blowing up the run and has tall enough to pick those quick out passes.
All right, at number 15, the Lions is on the board. Wait, that wasn't the Lions. I'm sorry. It's the Jaguars on the board. It's the Lions pick. All right, so when the Jaguars traded their quarterback to the Lions a couple of drafts ago, they were sitting on double firsts for a couple of drafts. And I think the Jaguars come right back in the first round. Remember, they had the 4th pick and they got the quarterback. They come back in the same round and they go at pick 16 and they go get the number 1 right end on the board and 6'7" DJ Beckham. X Factor, but he wasn't X Factor. He's a superstar, but because of training and training your guys, same thing he should be doing with his quarterback right now. When you train your guys, shit happens. Development trait increase. He goes up to a superstar X Factor. That's a big time win that puts him in that echelon now. It's a big time player. And then you got a big time, a guy to go along with Trayvon Walker. I like it. Hell of a pick by the Jaguars. 86 speed, 88 excel, like the guy can move. He's a good edge rusher, and with the 88 strength, but 270, like this guy can play some 3 techniques for you if you needed him to. But he's gonna be a problem coming off that edge. All right, now here's where things got interesting at, and this was some of the stuff that was, had the chat buzzing after the draft the other night. Now, the Eagles are up. Remember, the Eagles made a blockbuster trade before the draft with the Baltimore Ravens to go from 11 to 17. And in that, they got 3 picks in this year's draft, and then they got a 1st and a 3rd in next year's draft. And they moved to 17. And in the process, before the draft, they were in talks with the Lions to move 2 spots back down.
Blockbuster.
Now, here's the reason why this was important for the Jets. I'm sorry, not the Lions, the Jets and Coach Falk to try to get a blockbuster move with him. And here's how Mike held all the cards. Why you want to move down 2 spots, bro? I can't say it right now. We all on headset, but trust me, I need to get in 2 spots. But what is it worth to you? Well, what is it going to take? Well, obviously you want to move down there, so for me to move my spot after I already moved back 6 spots in this draft, for me to move back 2 more spots, what is it worth to you? They tried to figure it out. It didn't get figured out in time. Why? Because once the draft starts, you can't be making trades in my league. You can't trade during the draft. All your trades got to be there. So now their conversation stayed going the entire time, and it's like, all right, I can do that, and I can take next year picks as well. We're cool with that. All right, well, you're going to have to draft my guy for me, and then I'll draft yours. And that's all y'all saw happen. So at 17, a guy that should have been off the board in the top 10 was still on the board. And here's the thing. The reason why the Steelers took the defensive end at 14 is because they knew they was coming right back up at 18. And the way the game was moving and the board was moving, you pay attention to the board and what's going off the board, you can understand that you can almost gamble for a guy because nobody else is getting this guy. And it's like, I'm only 4 picks away from being able to get the guy I wanted anyway. And boom, the Jets jump in front of your ass and you don't get the guy you wanted. Because the Steelers, and the only reason why they didn't get him at 14 is because they have receivers. But sometimes there's a player you just cannot let go. Just like the Chargers said with the tight end. He's a unicorn. I can't let him slide up the board. Well, don't allow the unicorn to slide up the board and allow somebody else to be able to jump in front of him on some movement, right? Flex trade. Eagles at 17, who they got from the Ravens, by the way, they draft wide receiver Will Falk. Let's take a look at Will Falk. Why am I not going to be showing you the Eagles roster? Because after the draft, they traded and they swapped players because Falk drafted his player. He drafted Falk's player. Falk gave up picks for this year's draft coming up, and Mike won. He got 3 picks and 2 picks. He got 5 picks. He ended up with 7 total picks in this draft and next year's draft. And to me, you get the fastest guy in the draft at 6'5", 199, 98, 97. Now the green arrows up mean he's sitting on a +4 or +3 because +3, and that means he got 94 Excel. Because I do know he came out 98 speed, 93 Excel, so he must have got a Excel upgrade at some point during training. But now he's at 98, 97 on his roster right now. 99 spec cat. You got big time receiver. Like I'm still confused on how this guy didn't go in the top 10. It's mind boggling. And I'm saying that, and I picked the receiver at 11, and I'm still saying that.
Coach's trait.
Mm-hmm. All I know is his dog. And now you team him up with Garrett and Calvin Johnson. A1, I ain't mad at you from going online. You got damn near the best player in the draft. But look, in one game, this is what you got to deal with for the rest of the fucking disc. 6'5", 199 pounds, 98 speed, 10 catches, 228 yards, 2 touchdowns. Right now, he's saying, I'm the captain. I was the number 1 player at the receiver position in this draft. Because what the hell did the 6'6" guy for the Bucks do? And what did the 6'4" guy for the Ravens do? They didn't do this. They did not do this. Now, with that being said, at 18, that fucked Onk, right? It ain't fucking because if you look at Onk receiving core, he didn't need a receiver. But when you got a unicorn, you want to get him. So now the unicorn is sitting on the team that just played in the Super Bowl's team. The Steelers had the 18th pick in this draft because they traded T.J. Watt and Fitzpatrick to the Bills for first, third, and the fourth, or first, second, third, and the fourth, or something like that in the same draft. The Bills ain't have a pick into the 4th round. They gave it all up to the Steelers. And in that 18th pick, what the Steelers did was they said, all right, well, the unicorn not there no more. Let me go with the safe pick and get a guy that I know guaranteed is going to come in and be an impact player for me right away. And they go get Max Starks, 6'8", 339 pounds out of Alabama. You can't go wrong with Alabama lineman. Although I didn't like his bench press. For him to be that big, I didn't like his bench press at all. And they just got their asses kicked by the Ravens, so they're looking at all red house down right now. But they did get themselves a monster to hold down the right tackle. And they need that type of tackle in our division because we got a bunch of dogs on the D-line everywhere in that division. So every team they play, they want to play a pass rush. And Max Starks is up for the challenge right now. Let's see what he's done in his first game.
Needed O-line first in my division. That line is crazy. If you can't block them, that speed doesn't matter.
Exactly. 2 sacks. So now, although he didn't get the unicorn at 14, you can't be mad at a guy that go get the needs over the want. Sometimes it's cool to get the needs over the wants because you've been building your team for the last 3 seasons. You know what you got. You know what you have, right? And I'm gonna just say it like this. I apologize to all of y'all because I skipped over the number
By
6
changing
pick in the
all of the
draft.
T and
I
Anthits
skipped
articles,
over
you
it.
can put him anywhere if he's a tight end.
Yep. Yep. That's what I thought Antonio was going to do, move him to tight end and just play him everywhere else. But anyway, I skipped over it on purpose. I didn't miss the number I'm sorry fellas. I didn't miss the number 5 pick at all. I didn't miss it. I just chose to wait till I got to the Steelers pick to talk about it. Because what ended up happening is the Steelers had 2 picks in the first round and ended up with 3 picks in the first round. Same thing, same as I. Trading Lamar Jackson after the draft got me a top 3 pick again. I got the number 2 player in that the number 2 player that got drafted, right? Because the fact that the number 2 pick. Well, the Steelers last night around 3 o'clock in the morning, Germany time, Mark came on and said, I'm on now, bro. I missed everything as always because maybe one time, maybe we should do this, fellas. How about we have a late draft one time for Mark to better be a part of? Since he's 6.5 hours away from us, in front of us, and he can't never make the draft. Maybe one draft we sacrifice and draft late on like a weekend or something, where he can participate in it. But he had a quarterback last year, 90 overall quarterback superstar that he already had. He didn't want and all that. And then Onk came to me and said, "Wait a minute, The Patriots got the quarterback I wanted. I knew somebody wanted. I said he ain't pick him. He ain't even gonna play him. Right now, I could tell Mark this rookie quarterback is the better quarterback. Keep him." And he gonna say, "Nah, I like my quarterback." I'm telling you, I know how he is because I work with him with his team all the time. But I could tell you this: you ain't getting that quarterback without at least giving up 3 first-round picks. Now, how many of y'all would have gave up the 3 first-round picks to go get a quarterback? Because Kenny Pickett ain't the answer. He sucks. He's not it. He throw multiple picks in games where you're not being able to show your strength of who your team is and how you built this team. No matter how you built your team, you put a great team together, and the one piece that's killing you is Kenny Pickett. How many of y'all know how that feels to not have a quarterback, or to have a quarterback that got the abilities, he's up to the threshold, he just still can't make the plays you need him to make. He still throw bad passes all the time. We all been in those situations, right? This is the reason why I'm not trying to win the Super Bowl with Lamar anymore. I'm going to win the Super Bowl with a new quarterback, and that's my son at the helm. Well, he gave up 3 first-round picks. He gave up 2027, 2028, and a 2021. So Mark just got 3 first-round picks for a quarterback he wouldn't have drafted anyway. He would have never drafted that quarterback if he was on and been able to draft. The computer drafted it for him. He ain't want him and got 3 first-round picks for him. Well, after getting Max Starks, your right tackle, after getting the defensive end that you don't really got to play right now, you can let him develop. The guy that is going to play right now is right here. And this is the number 5 pick of the draft, and that's Ben Roethlisberger. And although you might think I had the best quarterback in the draft, I had a top 5 quarterback in the draft, but here was the first quarterback in the draft right here. Heck nah, not many skills, not good enough to sacrifice that many picks. Right. Nobody gonna give up that many fucking picks. Right. And you ain't gonna do the things you gotta do to be able to keep your team that good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not everybody's willing to do everything. But Ben Roethlisberger, who's the actual number 1 player, number 1 quarterback in the draft, not number 1 player, strong arm 90, field general 88, improviser 84, scrambler 82. And that's after not being training camp or not being in no training because Mark missed everything. So he didn't have an opportunity to do training camp with him or any of the mini camp stuff with him yet. Or his overall probably be higher than that. Mm-mm-mm. You go spend the 30 points on We Seen Enough, and you unlock him right away, and you unlocking the only other X Factor quarterback in the draft. So, as a whole, the Steelers had a pretty solid draft in the first round because they were able to get a top 5 player and then 2 players to better come in and do what they need, right? DN got time to develop, but that right tackle starts right now. And Roethlisberger is in game right now. And we going to find out, is this the answer for the Steelers and them having success? All right, at number 19, the Jets was up, but via trade with the Eagles, they picked the number 1 right tackle in the draft, and that's Donnie Hitchings. And he goes to the Eagles. And my, 64307. When he unlocks to a superstar. 85 agile, 80 pass protector, 79 power. Right? All right. So what you're going to say is that he ain't that strong. 91 is strong, but not that strong. But I do think that agile is going to show y'all some things. They run the read option over here. They run the RPO game over here. You need an agile lineman to be able to do those type of things. A guy that can get out there and get the second level and block after the decision of the play, right? You need a guy that's going to better be athletic, and I think they got the guy. Right? But they also won in that because they also got they got a player and 2 other picks. So they won in this trade. So they got the number 1 right tackle, and via trade, the swap was made. And this is probably why a lot of y'all complain. Like, you got the best receiver in the draft just to trade him. Well, he never was going to pick that receiver in the first place. He picked it for him because he couldn't get to they couldn't make the trade anymore because we were starting the draft. They couldn't make the trade anymore. Right? But he was winning because he got draft picks for it and a player, so he's cool. And in the process of that, you get to go do what you're trying to do in your vision, right? Mike's scheme and plan is, I gotta move how the Commanders did. The Commanders put themselves on a 2-year schedule of putting this team together. And then by year 3 and 4, they can build together. And that's where they're at right now. And that's where the Eagles are trying to get to. Although they started off as the best team on the game, you have to understand the best player in our league isn't playing with the best team on the game. So things happen and things are going to change and pieces are going to get moved to be comfortable to do the things he would like to do or trying to do. And that's where he's at with it right now. So I think if you pay attention to what it looks like in season 5, I think this Eagle team is going to have a situation in that division where he starts to turn the corner a little bit. And that's just, that's just how things go. I'm just only going off of, me and him talking and his game plan. When he tells me what his thoughts is and what he would like to do with the team, help me out, figure it out. How do I do these things? How do I get to this? How do I do this? How do I do that? And we put it together, and then he goes out and execute. Simple as that. All right. Pick number 20, the Packers. They get the best running back in the draft, or did they? All right, so I've been on headset with guys, and we've been talking about guys' draft picks the entire time, and everybody that was on headset with me was like, man, he just drafted a running back last year. Why would he draft a running back? And me, the only person to see it, probably how he see it, is why not? Why the hell not? Because I'm a draft this running back too if I'm drafting a guy that's sitting on an 88 overall right now. I know he got 3 points up right now, but 85 power, 84 elusive, 81 receiver, 6 foot, 230 pounds. Why wouldn't you draft him? Superstar, right? And then you got Phyllis Keys who balled out last year for you, but he's 6 foot, 202 pounds. Now you got a guy that can play up back, full back for you in a pistol. You got a guy that can be a bulldozer when you need him to be. 95 break tackle, 94 truck, and 96 stiff arm. Now you got a change of pace running back. And if you play the game the right way, everybody know running backs are important. That don't mean they got to be a top 10 pick, but they are important. 90% of y'all are playing the game right now, and y'all running backs got more catches than your receivers.
We didn't abandon the ball. It's not down. I do have a thought process, though. Depending on how big the thing
Tell me I'm lying.
is,
Tell me I'm lying. Your running back got more catches than your receiver. Mm-mm-mm, mm, mm-mm-mm, mm, mm-mm-mm, mm. At 21, the Commanders are up. Now, before the Commanders drafted, right? Sorry, I'm being a fat boy. I broke night 2 nights in a row. I ain't been asleep. I've been asleep for about 6 hours. I'm hungry. I don't mean to be unprofessional. Like Hit always say, you gotta stop eating on the shows, bro. That ain't professional. We ain't here to listen to you chew. All right, but let's talk though. Before we go into our off season, this is one of the guys that I conversate with all the time about our teams and our direction and where we should go. And we always talk about stuff. And he's a guy that's never pressed. Nah, he ain't doing all that. He told y'all a million times he ain't trading the quarterback. First of all, hit a tell him your logic on why. Tell him your logic. Tell him your reason why. Tell him what you told me earlier today when I asked you. Did I not ask you to trade the quarterback to the Jags?
Yeah.
Did I not ask you? I came at you
Yeah.
like, yo, you might as well trade him to him, and he gonna have to pay for him. Fuck that. He gonna have to give at least 2 firsts and a third. And what you say?
I said, what did I say? I said it's only about 2 or 3 users in this league that would trade a player like that, and I'm not one of them.
Okay.
The second one is how many people in this league would trade that player to me? Nobody. So
Makes sense to me. I ain't mad at you. So with that being said, stop asking if they ain't trading the quarterbacks. That's simple. At least not right now. Because if I asked him for him, like yo, can I get him for my backup? I'll give you what you paid for him and more. Nope. His response was, if you want him for a backup, then why you mad at me for having him for a backup? Injuries are on this year, in case y'all didn't know. Your motherfucking quarterback go down, or you get a flat tire like the Bears did, you gonna lose by 60 and you don't got backup. So, Hitter, how many times we talk about our teams right before draft and things we should do and what we gonna do, and how many times you say to me, I don't know, I don't really need much, man. I like my team as is, man. We just still got to develop. That's it.
all the time.
All the time. All the time. So, but at pick 21, did you come into this draft, by the time we got to your pick, did you come into this draft with an idea of what you wanted to get? Or you still was just like, I'm just going to pick the best available player? Or did you have an idea by the time we got to pick 21?
I had a direction where I wanted to go going into the draft. Of course, everyone has a list, and you hope that certain people fall and
Hmm.
and, and things of that nature. But when it came down to it, I was just like, I got to see who's there. I mean, when you pick this late in each round, period, you can't hope to have certain players there.
Hmm. And we showed 20 picks that went off the board. And to be honest with you, I only saw one pick that probably shouldn't have been off the board already, and that was the running back for the Cowboys. And I'm sorry to say it again, D West, but it's true. That running back would have been there for you in the third round. Now, with that being said, out of 20 picks, only one of them I looked at and said, nah, probably should have been a second rounder. So at 21, though, can you tell me what you saw that made you pick this guy right here, uh, Stringer Bell?
Uh,
Cause I know
the
what I saw, and I can go back to the draft right now and show y'all exactly what I saw when you picked him, and I realized, oh my God, wait a minute, hold up. Didn't I just tell y'all the University of Miami won a championship?
well, I saw that I had a need for D tackle. I just lost Jonathan Allen, and I lost
Hold on, speak again. You lost who?
John Allen.
He went to the
Well,
Browns for 60 million. Go ahead.
yeah, I let John Allen go, and I let Mathis go. So that kind of left me with just Deron
Deron
Payne.
Payne. Okay.
And even though I'm playing Barksdale at D tackle most of the season last season. That was just to get him to develop and not just waste away on my team
Right.
as the backup behind Chase and Sweat.
Right.
So
I'm
I had
listening.
him playing out of position. So me seeing that it was a 6'5" monster just sitting there with a with a little bit of weight on him. I was figuring I have another player to go along with Barksdale to play D tackle
Right.
because Deron Payne is also 29, so he's another 1 year rental.
Right.
Hit a got the
So
wire
that was
cooler
my
for the
thought
low
process.
flex biceps, medium dark skin tone.
Yeah. He wasn't naming all his player the wire niggas. So when you picked this kid, right? What stood out to you? Like, was you happy? Did you like what you saw? Like, what?
Oh,
Like,
most
talk to me a little
definitely.
bit.
Yeah, he came out. He's strong as an ox for one. He's solid penetration, no homo, with the finesse and power moves. Block
Hmm.
shed was looking good. You know, and then first game he had a pretty big play at the end to kind of secure our win week 1.
All right, not for nothing. Let's take a look at him. He only got 167 snaps, so that means you wasn't doing your training and shit with him all crazy. But when he unlocks, god damn, it's me again hitting all strong. Yo, I can hit with the goddamn it's me again hitting all strong. You gonna unlock to X Factor. Oh Lord. Now you gonna play him more at D tackle 3 technique, or is he gonna play on the edge for you in 3-4?
Sheesh.
Right now he's in the middle with Avon, him and Avon in the middle.
All right, and not for nothing. Let's just address the 90 overall right now. This guy definitely got his plus 20 package that he had paid for about a month ago,
Well,
couple joints ago.
I was in debt. Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone owed someone owed me something.
I was in debt, right? Definitely. So he got, was it a plus 20 or a plus 30 I gave you?
I don't know. I wasn't behind the sticks.
I
I know
think
he
it's
was.
plus. I think it was a plus 30, bro. Plus no,
Okay.
plus 20 because it's defensive player. I get the guard, the lineman plus 30. All right, so 88 go to 90s because 2 and turn shit up. And now you got a guy that can play right the fuck now. When he unlock 5, he unlock he can get some stuff. And the reason why you got him at DN is for a reason, right? And not moved him to D tackle.
Yeah, no, I like them better at the ends playing D tackle.
Oh, it wasn't for strategy wise. It wasn't for
No,
when he
no,
unlocks stuff you can do at the end that you can't do at the tackle.
no,
Okay,
no.
I'm
I
sorry.
think they all had the same traits on D line.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not giving no more hints out. So,
It's not like middle linebacker or outside linebacker.
oh, all right. I hear you. So why not just move him to D tackle then?
I just like them looking better over at the ends.
Just look better.
Yeah,
All right.
and I don't know where this Amerson guy came from, but apparently I drafted him somewhere.
Not really.
Don't know how he got on my team.
Lol.
Yeah, I don't even know how the nigga got on my team. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no,
Mm-mm-mm. You don't remember who you talking about?
the backup my other D
They get the
tackle.
they get the gold cleats at DN.
Christopher Amerson. Fuck is that?
7th round, 23rd pick.
Damn, he ain't bad though for a 7 rounder.
Yeah, I had the 21st pick though.
What would you got him out of free agency or something?
No, they say he was drafted.
What the fuck?
Nope. If it ain't on the bar, it ain't nothing down here.
All right. Well, Stringer Bell from the Wire. Broncos. Listen, bro. The Broncos bust a power move and fucking went. Listen, bro. Patrick Queen is probably the biggest blockbuster trade that we didn't talk about or not talking about that ever happened. I mean, if y'all guys would have got to see the battle that was going on between the Seahawks and the motherfucking 49ers over Patrick Surtain. Mm-mm-mm. That would have been a show within his own. That would have been a story within his own. And I wish somehow, sometimes we could capture some of this stuff because it was legit. Like it literally jump started my draft day. Like, oh my God. Like, and it made me want to go bust moves and stuff too. Like these guys was in a heated battle trying to get, Patrick Surtain. And the Broncos got to put his feet up and sit back and be in a comfortable situation because either one of those trades was way too much for Patrick Queen, but Patrick Peterson or whatever the guy name is, or Surtain. But when you got two guys bidding against each other for him,
In the
run it
same
up.
division.
In the
Yeah.
same division, run that shit up. It is what it is. Run it up. And as you can see, the Seahawks came out on top, and it was that important to him and Max. To neither one of those guys got the guy, and whoever got him will better be comfortable going forward in the rest of that day. And the Seahawks won the trade.
Don't mind if we do.
Shout out to that Seahawks secondary. God damn.
Jesus Christ, right?
Rich getting richer.
hmm Now, with that being said, the Broncos has turned the corner. Sane has turned the corner. In a draft where Shane got 2 first-round picks, you definitely would have saw 2 receivers off the board right away or something like that. You'd have been doing all bullshit. And then mad as hell by season 2. Ready fucking quit, ready fuck something up, ready telling niggas to kiss his ass, telling Max to suck his dick. He'd be ready to go fucking crazy. But he's grown up now, man. He's grown up. Completely grown up now. And he did the unthinkable with both of his picks in the first round. And the guy had a great fucking draft, right? And that's how you capitalize. So at 22, right tackle McQueen goes to the Broncos at 6'7", 320 pounds, 83 overall, red house down. He must have lost his first game, but 93 strength, superstar. He was a superstar. Why he locked back up? What happened? You got your ass kicked so bad he locked back. Why ain't he just a superstar? What happened? Wait, was he a superstar? I thought he was a superstar. I just went over these motherfucking players.
Look like he ain't on lock.
He wasn't even locked. Am I tripping though, Shane? Am I on the wrong guy? I could have sworn he was a superstar. Because he got a left tackle and a right tackle. Hold on, what other lineman he got at pick 30? Right guard, Leslie. Or maybe it was Leslie that was the superstar. Yep, it was Leslie that was the superstar. All right, cool. All right. So he secures lineman and he goes out and get McQueen that could probably play any different position. Let's look at his line now to see what they look like. Teller Decker, 32 years old, so one of those guys is going to replace him. Anthony Bradford ain't going nowhere. At center, Graham Carter not going nowhere. At right guard, you got Quinn Miniers, but Leslie is here to replace him. He already 1 point under him. And then at right tackle, you got Lucas, who ain't going nowhere. And then you got John McQueen, who can get moved to right tackle while Lucas goes to left tackle for you. So now they solidified their offensive line, and they got better on the line, and he did it through the draft. So I like the fact that he's trying to build his trenches, and he's not scared to go and attack trenches first and then come back and get to the weapons. And then there's Hitty. Hitty, my boy Hitty. Hoodie sneaky as hell in the draft, bro. You might not even think he there. He might not even make his first pick. Usually when he ain't picking, it's because he probably playing another Madden game. But I was surprised that Hoodie came up at pick 23, and it was the Miami that won a championship in my head, right? In college this year, the Miami Hurricanes won the NCAA championship. As you can see, there's a lot of Miami dogs in the draft this year. Usually when I load the draft up with certain schools, it's because they won a championship. And it was a guy right from his hometown still on the board. But yet, he went and got a little nigga that he been having success with because he did. This is not the first time he's done it in this year's league, right? He goes and get a safety, and he get one of the fastest safeties in the draft. Now I know Harvey Little is 5'9", 202, and that's probably why a lot of you knuckleheads stayed away from him, right? But Terrell Wall was the same type guy at 5'11", 208. And all you're doing is getting more depth back there and guys that can move around back there. And I understand it, but you had guys like the Honey Badger who can make plays. You got guys that can move around and do some things. Now I'm not loving the pick, but I ain't hating it because when you're looking at a guy that's an 88 overall right now, the only thing he ain't gonna come out on is he ain't a superstar. There was not one safety in the draft. It was, matter of fact, it was one safety in the draft that came out on superstar. This thing, he ain't it. But this is a win right now. The guy already sitting on 90 overall, right?
Jags.
+2 right now, sitting on a 90 overall. Now the question is, what is he going to do with him? Where does he fit in your scheme? Like, why do you have that guy? Where's he going to play at? Well, Edwin Thurston could go to sub linebacker at any moment, and then you got a guy that can go back deep. Now, with these 6'6", 6'5", 6'4" niggas running around, you better not have one of them motherfuckers back deep when I'm playing you. We going up top. And then you got to deal with Falk, who got Calvin Johnson Jr. and Will Falk over there blazing. What them little niggas going to do? I don't know. But Hoodie got one of the best defenses on the game, period. And scheme matters. So we're going to see what he do with it. All right. At 24, the Cleveland Browns. First time they had a first-round pick since the league started. Let's go to these Browns and see what they did. Or where they went right now. The Browns. Let's go. What my boy Rockin' Robbie did in this draft. Let's go look at what he got. And he went and got, our second tight end go off the board in the first round. Wow, tight end. He becomes his best tight end right now. I knew somebody picked up Charlie Kohler. I knew it was your ass. So they lost their tight end, so they had to go get a tight end, and he did. He comes in right now, and speed kills. Oh, he went and got the fastest tight end, 92 speed, 93 excel. He got a speed burner. Let me ask y'all this. Is any of y'all mad that he got this tight end in the first round? That's a normal. Like, is that a bad pick? I'm going to say it's not a bad pick. Speed kill. And I don't think the tight end being on star versus normal is going to change anything. Now, he's going to have to get him devved up. I don't know how he's going to do that. Maybe he buy a package. Maybe he gets him devved up himself and through training and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
training and breakout messages.
Training and breakout messages, right? However you do it. But what I would tell, hell nah. Come on, man. I'm in the middle of a show. Don't start that bullshit. But I can tell you this. He already trying to get him built himself. 16 catches, 20. Who the fuck he played over the first 2 games? He went dummies. Okay, Walking Wobby. I see you, Walking Wobby. We on your ass, Walking Wobby. 92 speed, 93 excel. You can't teach speed. So at the end of the day, I'm not mad at this. And he got 92 special catches. The kid is a receiver. He ain't going to block nobody, but he definitely going to be a threat at receiver. And I can say even with the not being on ability, he upgraded at that tight end position. So I ain't mad at this pick. I doubt this guy. I'm saying it's weird with the tight ends, but I doubt this tight end would have been there in the second round by the time he came back up, if he even had a second round pick. Shout out. That was a good pick. I like it. At 25, the Titans came up, and the Titans said, all right, I made it to the playoffs by being a run football team. Now we got to start to get the passing game going, right? So you look at the Titans and you ask them what their roster look like. They go and get a receiver. But let's look at what they got. J.K. McClendon was their number 1 receiver all last year. 6'3", big body, no homo, but not 96 speed, 96 cell. They go get Deuce Page, 6'1", 183, 97, 97. They go get themselves a speed burner. He's a game-changing speed guy, so I'm not mad at this pick at all. 6'5" Jeremy Flynn gives you a 93, 6'5", 233. This is a big receiver that you just haven't got going yet, right? But, like, now you're looking at some things over there. But, like, you go get Deuce Page. Let's see if he played his first. Oh, he obviously played his first game. Superstar, too. Oh, my God. He played both his first games already. And he come out against the Giants, and the fucked up part about it is this is the receiver that the Giants had marked on his board. Like he was gonna get him, but he didn't get him because he traded for Zay Flowers. But if he didn't trade for Zay Flowers, this receiver would have went number 10 in the draft. Instead, he thought he would fall to to the third round, to the second round, pick 3. So he was taking his chances. So he picked his linebacker instead. And then you got to play the Titans, the guy that drafted your guy, and then he comes in your stadium and gives you 10 catches for 117 yards. 11.7 is his rookie debut with a touchdown. Back-to-back games, lost 20-22 to the Jaguars, but this guy stepped up with 5 catches, 85 yards and touchdown. So it looked like Deuce Page is not playing. It looked like he's ready to go as a rookie right now, and that speed matters. Okay, shout out. All right, number 26. All right, so now the Lions come up. I think they come up for the first time in the draft. And they gets this pick because they traded with the Bears because the Bears thought Corey thought he wasn't going to be able to draft, and he was able to draft, and he traded his first round pick to the Lions. And with that pick, via Bears trade, they go get left tackle Max Cook. Not mad at that at all. You'll get that line better because they want to run it down your throat, no homo. They already got one of the better offensive lines in the league, and they go get a guy, Max Cook, who could probably play guard for them right now if they wanted him to, just to get him on the field. But he's definitely going to replace Tunsil. Yep. I like the pick, Max Cook. 6'5", 308 pounds out of Stanford, so you know he's intelligent as hell, and he probably a student of the game. Shout out to the Lions. All right. At 27, the Chargers is back up for their second pick in this draft. Now, I thought I marked down who they got, so I got to go look for myself now. They got Winslow with the first pick.
Safety.
Devin Balmer. Is that that's who you got?
I'm not sure. I'm just trying to remember.
Yep, here we go. Devin Balmer. 6'2", 222 pounds out of Kansas State. And look, they're in the same stadium as the Rams, right? And who shitted all year for the Rams at the safety position? Russ East. Where he played at? Kansas State. So they go get themselves a dog from Kansas State. This man is 6'2", 222 pounds. Is this not, what's his name? Darwin James' replacement? I don't know who is. 94 speed, 92 excel. I mean, I'm quite sure he probably knocking heads off. Let's see what his hit power is. 91 hit power. Yep, knocking heads off. 80 block shed. This ain't bad at all. And again, I know it wasn't a lot of, there's no ability safeties in the draft, so I know he's star. But this is a good pickup. They go get a guy, Derwin James is 30 years old. Unless he finish in the top 5. In the secondary, he's going to be a guy that's going to drop. So you go get your guy. That's what I'm saying. Like, the Chargers ain't doing a bad job this draft. And maybe this is his year going forward. I'm telling y'all. Like, to me, I see the upside. I see some change that happen over here. I think they're going to be all right. Raiders. The Raiders been winning in every draft. Let's see if they continue to do so. When the Raiders is on the board, you got to pay attention because what they draft usually play. They went and got D tackle. Let's see what they got. They got Goodson at D tackle. All right, 86 overall, true 86. Denzel Goodson, 6'4", 300 pounds out of Clemson. Solid speed, 94 strength, across the board, 85, 87. Like, yeah. and he about to unlock soon. I mean, this is a good piece to go along with Money Williams. Man, they trying to protect that front, bro. They trying to get that front seven together over there. I like it because they got a mean secondary already. So, all right. So at number 28, that was the Raiders. At 29, the Chiefs had the 29th and 30 pick. And the Chiefs got superstar linebacker Matt Harris, left outside linebacker, and then they come back with the 30th pick and get a running back. Now, some might say, "Damn, you don't need a running back. You just traded Mahomes and got a running back." Let's look at the linebacker first. Malik Harris, 6'4", 254 pounds, 87 speed, 93 excel, 87 hit power. He's more of a got solid block shed and power moves. He can rush off the edge and he can cover.
He about to run all these dudes into the ground. He got 4 of them.
Oh my God. They all about to run into the ground, right? Now,
Bad
J.K.
news.
Dobbins is 27. Travis Etienne is 27. So, in my opinion, Zeke Fields was needed. And Zeke was actually the number one running back on the board. He was the number one running back on the board. Don't mean he was the best running back on the board, but he was the number one running back on the board. With the 85 receiving back, 81, 875 elusive. Now, the fact that he's a receiving back should ring bells in Nano head. When you think you don't need a guy, you actually do need a guy when that guy can do some things the rest of your backs don't do well. I mean, Etienne's solid out the backfield, but this guy, Tag, is showing archetype. He's the better receiver running back than most, probably. And if I'm him, I'm using him in those ways right now. You got a guy that don't really need to start for you right now at all. He should touch the ball and get some carries, but you should also throw the ball to him out the backfield.
I'm definitely not running with him.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
95 carry.
Because you said, what's this carry?
75.
Oh yeah, somebody gonna crack the shit out of his little ass. You better red shirt this motherfucker.
Put his ass in the spin cycle.
Oh my God. But I think it's a good pick though. He just gotta get him more developed. Like he already high overall, just gotta get right. You could tell I missed some stuff on him because he's still 22. I usually make him 21 years old. And then pick 30, the Titans traded with the Jets last year, and that's how the Jets moved up to number 3 in the draft to better get their quarterback in Montana. So now it's the Titans' turn to find out what you want to do. Now you drafted one of the fastest receivers in the draft, not the, but one of. And then you turn right back around and you go get the Miami University corner, and that's the kid, Roach is his last name. He's a dog. Flat out dog. Let's go to the Titans roster for a second and look at this flat out dog.
Joe Roach. Jeez.
All right. Joe Roach. 85 overall, 98 speed, 98 excel. God damn. 90 agile, 92 chin direct. 81 man. 8 zone. 8 dog. Oh my God. 85 catch, 80 press, 80 zone, 81 man. Like, yeah, he's solid. He's ready to go. And then there's the Broncos back up at 32. And we told y'all they went and got linemen, and they also got the kid Leslie, who was the actual superstar for them, and he was a guard. And remember, they went crazy running the ball last year. They want to better expand their offense a little bit more and get the passing game going. But the fact that they just drafted a rookie tackle and a guard tells you that they still believe in their core scheme right now, which is running the ball until they get those guys on the outside and the quarterback up the par to better do what they really want to do offensively. But right now, I like what they did because it's a beneficial thing. It matters to go get linemen, especially in the league where they're not developing as fast as you would like them to. I mean, I'm sitting on linemen that have been in the league for 3 or 4 years, and they still not a 90 overall yet. So, let's go. I like it. And the Broncos clean up the first round with their 2 lineman picks, and that was our first round. That's our Thanksgiving show this morning. We did have some games played. We will talk about that probably later on the night for the night show. With that being said, man, knock those games out. Look, man, I know guys are busy and Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving. I get it. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Now, all you guys that typed your name in the comment section and said all love, we all in love and all that shit, I got y'all. We'll tally it up. But if you want to speed the process up, just DM Max that you was one of them, show your proof, and we'll come around that corner when we come and gift y'all. We'll come around that corner when we come gift y'all. We're coming around that corner. We coming around that corner. And where the
What up,
motherfucking
greenies?
coats at? Because I'm telling you like this. I want to see what that speed mean. I want to see what that speed do over there, cuz. Let's get it before I pass the fuck out. Other than that, and here's the franchise guru. Holla at y'all when we holla at y'all. You heard?